everyone. Welcome back to the Fate of Aeothar. Previously, the heroes of Wintervale make their way to Stone Grove, where they meet High King Dawnstead and inform him of the battle at Wintervale and their victory there. They tell the king of the orb and the cloud that follows it. Upon showing an illusory baron at the time of his death, the High King deduces that he is in fact a being known as a Nagpa, conquerors in the name of knowledge, who can only learn by destroying what is and picking up the pieces from the ashes. The High King also tells them that with the Baron gone, their Circle of 13 is incomplete, and their powers weakened. They can never fulfill their goals without the 13th member. He then takes them to meet his High Mage, a prickly dragonborn named Draken, who they ultimately convince to come to Wintervale to inspect the phylactery, albeit slightly against his will. They travel back to Wintervale till they reach the outskirts, and that's where we're picking up. You guys are on your way to Wintervale, and you see it off in the distance. And also the large cloud of death.
Of course. Classic cloud of death.
Absolutely.
Moss is just getting us into the city.
Yeah.
Full speed ahead.
I'm holding on.
Okay. Yeah, and all of you fly into the city. Where are you landing at?
I'll land. Well, they know us by now, so I'll just go straight to the Duke. Got some. Get this guy into the castle.
Okay.
I know Draken's probably not feeling too hot, so I'll take us right up to the castle.
Okay. Yeah. So you get up to the castle, and let everyone get off and safely onto the ground. And then, are you wild shaping back into Moss, or
Yes.
dropping wild
the
shape?
second I land, the second Moss touches ground, gets everyone off because I don't want to fucking drop Draken.
Mhm.
And once everyone is on the ground, the second he is able, shifts back into Moss. Just, finally, just shakes himself out a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, everyone, if you want to go brief the Duke, I need to do a bit of shopping that I forgot to do as we were back at the capital.
Sure.
Just let all of you take this one, yeah?
We can do that. Meet back here?
Just look across the group.
Yeah.
Meet
Alright.
here?
Me here.
Okay.
Nice.
And Moss will just turn and go to whatever weapon shop might still be open.
Okay. Cool. Do you want to do Moss first, or
It's up to you, man. If you, I need to go buy a fucking bow,
okay?
or a bunch of daggers, whatever they got in stock. If there's a magic shop, I'll check and see if they have anything enchanted.
I could
But-
have given you a bunch of that. Oh,
He's not gonna ask you for that.
Your daggers are disgusting.
Wow.
They've been in so many people.
That is a good point. He would go buy something fancy. So if there was like a more pristine, I don't know if like a lot of, because I assume we just alerted a lot of the refugees. I don't know if there's anywhere that's like even open yet. But even if there's not, he'll go check out some buildings.
Okay. Yeah, and walking around, a lot of the buildings are still closed and kind of boarded up.
Is there anywhere that has like a hammer and anvil or some crossed swords?
Yeah,
Like
there is still a worker at the blacksmith shop, and
Poke my head in there.
okay, yeah, and you walk in and you see the blacksmith. He's a dwarf. And he's
Hail, friend.
working on some steel, and he turns and says, hello there. What can I do for you?"
It seems that I'm not sure if you can tell, and he kind of like looks at his hands a little bit. Not exactly the most skilled in the way of, and he like puts his hands up like he's gonna punch. It's like, not exactly the best. I need something I can hit from a range. I've not thrown a lot of things. I've not used a bow much either, but looking if you could do something for me, make something interesting or usable.
And he says, sure. What did you have in mind?
Well, if I'm honest, I'm looking more for a design. Maybe something I don't need to throw, but can. Maybe a sort of like ornate dagger. I don't... Here's the thing. I see the tools that a lot of people use out there. They're very drab, very boring. I'm not boring. I don't know if you can tell. Not very boring. I need something flashy, but that won't break. Whether it be thrown, whether it be a bow, a ranged weapon.
And he says, okay. something extra durable and strong, then I can be arranged.
Something that may be easy to find as well, as so that way I don't need to keep coming back. But I will keep coming back if you do a good job, so do keep that in mind. As he pats a rather hefty coin purse on his side.
And he says, yes, I see. Yeah. I believe I could fashion you a bow. And that way you wouldn't have to go searching for anything, unless you wanted to recover your arrows, but those are easily made and bought.
That would be well. And oh, actually, and he like reaches into his bag, and pulls out Hirsam's veal, and just kind of looks at it. And I was like, would you be able to manage something in this style? But obviously a bit more steady. This is a bit, and he like plucks a leaf off of it, drops a leaf. Yeah. Anything a bit steadier, but this kind of style. You think you could manage that?
And he says, yes, I think I could do something like that. There are some very old trees that grow in the forest a little ways from here. Their wood should be sufficient.
Wonderful, sir. And how long will that take?
And he says, oh, probably about a week or so.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. And how much? As he's like digging in to get like a big scoop out of the purse.
And he says, well, how about for now, we'll say 50 gold. And upon completion, if there's anything left that you have to pay up, then we can discuss that.
Absolutely, sir. And he will sit there and he will give him 60 gold. Get myself down to an even 200.
Okay.
Just a bit of a tip as he like drops the extra 20.
And he says, fine, that will definitely help on the journey to get the wood. So give me a week and it should be ready.
Yes, sir. And if possible, I may be doing a bit of traveling. If I'm not back within a week, you think you could just keep that on hold for me?
He says, yes. What name should I put it under?
That would be Machina Sylvam, please.
And yeah, writes it on a piece of paper and says, yes. When I get it finished, I'll be sure to tag it with this then.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. And I shall return. He gives him a very deep, respectful bow and exits the shop.
Okay, cool. So, going back to the others, what have you guys been doing? I assume you go in to speak to the king?
Traveling to the king?
Duke.
The Duke, yeah.
Or, yeah, the Duke, right? You're in Wintervale, not Stone Grove. Got it all there. So, yeah.
We have done a loop.
Right, so...
Yes, to the Duke.
All of you go before the Duke, and Draken is with you. And he looks around and kind of looks at the Wintervale castle and says, my, this is a little depressing in here. It's so cold and blustery. It's all stone.
I mean, you can hardly complain. It's not a hole in the floor, at least.
He says, well, that is true.
I can assure you the rooms upstairs are brilliant.
He says, no doubt. And you guys approach, and the Duke is at his throne, and he's talking to a few commoners who have come in. It seems like maybe some of the first refugees to come back.
I wave out to the Duke. Not to interrupt him.
And he notices you enter and keeps talking to the commoners, and after a little bit, finish, and they kind of give a bow and a thank you and walk out. And he looks at you and says, you've returned. What have you learned?
We brought a guest, and I gesture.
And Draken kind of comes out, from the crowd of all of you guys. He's a little bit smaller and a little harder to see. And comes out and says, Duke, it's been quite a while. And Duke Silent Fury says, it has. I don't see you much these days. I hope everything is okay. And Draken says, you know me, I never come out unless I have to, so fate of the world and all. He says, yes. I assume you're here to inspect this strange orb. And Draken kind of like puts his hand up and corrects him and says, no, phylactery. It's a phylactery, we found out. And you see the Duke kind of tense up, like, a phylactery. Kind of give a shudder, like, ugh. If I had known that's what it was, I wouldn't have kept it here. Well, you should hurry along and go see what it is and what you can do about it. And Draken says, yes, of course. And motions for all of you and says, come on, follow me.
I continue, but I say, we have another, hasn't joined us yet. He should be out in the kind of town square-ish area. Would it be possible if you sent someone over to pick him up? Just to let him know where we are?
And the Duke says, yes, I assume you mean your large metallic friend.
Yes, of course.
And he says, yes, I'll send some after him. And kind of motions for a couple of guards and tells them the situation and has them go and look for Moss in the city. Which, Moss, you would be already on your way back, no doubt.
Beautiful. Yes. Kind of walking back, if possible, on my way out, what I've been able to purchase, just like, I'm assuming he's a blacksmith, he's got some stuff, like, ready to go. Just, like, 2 daggers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
If he has some nicer ones, I'll take the nicest ones, but if they're just a bunch of generic daggers, I'll take 2 generic daggers.
Okay. He has one that is a +1 dagger and one that's just a regular standard one.
Oh, +1 dagger. Oh, yeah. How much is +1?
The +1 is 75 gold.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, I'll fucking take that, and then normal dagger's like 5 gold or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So 75, that's 80, down to... it's 10 platinum is a copper, or a gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so...
10 to 1.
Perfect. So I'll take that. No, I'll take it out of the gold, that's fine. So that's 120 left there. Beautiful. So a +1 dagger and a normal dagger. Thank you, sir. Is a +1 dagger, like, fancy and ornate, or is it just, like, magically enchanted?
From what you can tell looking at it, the metal seems to be different than just the standard dagger.
Ooh. Can I, like, inspect it, see if there's anything special about it, like, while I'm walking back?
Sure. Roll a...
Is there an appraisal skill? Appraisal? That's wrong game.
There might be appraisal tools. Roll a, nature check.
Insight. Ooh! Oh, damn it, it's not survival. I always get them confused. Oh, sorry, that's at advantage. I rolled at advantage because of I have the toggle thing on that as a 12.
So both. Okay.
If possible, could I guidance myself? Since I'm, like, trying to figure it out, take the time to guidance myself?
I would say it would have had to been before the roll.
Damn it. Fair. All right, no, it's fair. It's long enough. I got away with it for long enough.
But you do notice that it's much more of a lighter than like the iron or the steel that the other dagger's made of. It's more of a lighter colored metal.
I'm gonna mark that as a question mark dagger, +1 question mark dagger, and then the other one's just like an iron dagger.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Very basic, functional, but you know.
Dagger's D4?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Thank you.
I got 5 of them, I would know.
Just making sure. So that's 2 plus proficiency, because I'm proficient now. Proficiency pog. Okay, and yes, I'm walking back, and I guess I run into these guards as I'm inspecting my fancy new dagger.
Yeah, you do see them coming down the street.
Absolutely, and I follow them wherever they take me.
Okay. Yeah, and they tell you that the Duke requires your audience, and you follow them back, and
Either way, lads.
Go up the stairs and get up to the castle again, and go inside, and you can see the others kind of waiting with Draken.
Oh, apologies, friends. Apologies. And he'll kind of like flick the dagger around in his hand and sheath it on a new holster that rests on his hip next to his couch.
Ooh, you bought a throw knife.
Yes, I believe it's time I took a bit of protection into my own hands rather than my own paws.
I got a few throw knives. I could have just given you one or two. Or
Yes,
three.
but this, and he like flicks the dagger back out and like does a little flourish with it, like weirdly good with his hands. That you like, Moss is usually like pretty clunky. He's finessing this shit now, almost like he's proficient with it.
Nice.
My own hands instead of my own paws, Tony is going to attempt to stifle a laugh because he finds that fucking hilarious.
Yeah, what about this throw knife?
It actually, Hadrada, if you could, and he'll like flip it blade side into his hand. So I couldn't quite figure out what's going on with this. Do you think you could take a look at it for me? And he holds it out to Hadrada.
So what exactly are you having me look for?
My dagger. It's this strange material. I can't quite see what it is. And he pulls out this cheap
okay.
one.
I licked the dagger.
Why you don't lick my fucking dagger.
Hadrada can taste different metal. That's brilliant.
I mean,
Bop him
actually,
on the top of the
actually,
head.
that's how geologists determine whether something is stone or bone.
Fucking
So I
dwarves.
get I get a investigation. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Why can't I cancel the rolling?
Why?
It's burning hands.
Burning,
Don't burn the
burning
dagger.
hands, man. It's a magic dagger. That was expensive.
And it melts immediately.
Yeah,
Uh,
Just kidding.
Okay, so my highest was 15.
Okay. You find that this dagger is made of silver.
And I just say it's made of silver and then hand it back.
Oh, silver.
Tony inquiringly asks, "How does silver taste?"
How is
Like
silver?
silver.
How is
metally.
silver good for throw knife?
A bit minerally,
it's-
a bit salty.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's just
Tony
kinda like,
also thinks a silver knife is very cool.
he takes it and just kind of like tosses it in his hand around.
Okay, yeah,
You
but
might
how
wanna
is
clean that off.
how is silver good for throw knife? Like, does it make stronger?
Pretty sure all knives are just throwing knives.
good at hitting.
Hard enough.
Beasties.
Yeah, but these better at throwing than regular knife.
I mean, not necessarily. It's just me that's better at throwing now.
I guess. But if you wanted a good throw knife, you could have just asked me.
Well,
I have a
again,
good one.
like I didn't want to take yours. Those are yours. You need those.
I don't use them often.
I can
Fair,
assure you
but-
they do not need all of their throwing knives.
Oh wait, I'm
But,
wrong. I'm wrong. The thing I was doing is only with stone, not metals. So I take the 15 since that was the first roll.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you just
It's still higher.
Yeah.
That's what we went off of anyway, was the 15, so you're good.
Well, yeah, I know. I just
Oh, no,
for the
that's fine.
future.
Is +1 is to hit and damage, right? Or is it just one or the other?
I just looked it up. Yeah, it's just
Awesome.
it's both.
Thank you.
I think Roll20 does it for you automatically if you just put +2 on damage.
Well, I'm doing it on my manual sheet.
Hmm.
I do all my inventory and weapon stuff on my sheet.
Hmm.
But irregardless, apologies, dude. And then he like looks up, sees the Duke and Draken just standing there waiting. It's like, oh, apologies, gents. And he'll like take the now slightly damp dagger back from Hadrada and sheath it.
Okay.
Like, on our way then. Apologies for the delay.
And Draken looks at the guard leading them up to where the orb is and say, "All right, we'll follow you." And the guard begins going up the stairs, and you continue up this like large spiral staircase inside of the main tower, and you finally get up to the very top of it, where the door is steel and the walls are very thick stone, and there's a very large like padlock on it, and two guards standing out front of it. And the one that's escorting you walks up and kind of nods to them, and they stand aside and pull out one of the keys and give it to him, and he unlocks the door and lets you in. And you can see the orb is inside of probably like a 2 foot by 2 foot steel cage that has been bolted into a stone pedestal. And it seems like the only way inside of it is through a small door, and it is magically padlocked. There's an arcane lock on it.
Tony is intrigued.
Moss just nods in approval.
Is this room like ominously large? Can I ask?
No, it's not too big.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably like a 10 by 10 room.
Nice.
It's at the very top of the tower, so
Ah.
and Draken walks up and looks at the cage and the phylactery and looks at the arcane lock and asks the guard, so who can undo the lock? And the guard says, that would be one of the Duke's advisors. Allow me to go fetch her. He goes downstairs and then comes back up after a little bit, and with him is the female drow advisor who you guys had interrogated.
This is the chick that was talking mad shit on the Duke, right?
Yes, the one who was there basically is like a spy for the king.
Yeah.
And she comes up
She's for the king.
and undoes the arcane lock. She's the one who put it on, and the door
Tony
opens
watches
up.
in amazement as it opens. Wow.
And the door to the cage opens up, and Draken is able to lift out the orb and begin inspecting it. And he begins looking at it for a while, seeing how flat and mirrored the surface of it is, and the slight purple outline along the rim of the orb, and like the darker inside. And he turns around and looks at all of you and says, so this cloud above it, it follows wherever the orb goes, correct?
Yeah.
Indeed.
And if you try and punch it a lot, it'll lower mysteriously.
So
Don't do that.
So you've tried brute force on it, and it didn't.
Tried a lot of brute force.
Yeah.
Tony looks a little bit sad.
Moss pats him on the back.
That is concerning. And begins inspecting it more and says, and where did it come from? Did this Baron have it on him, or
I
Ripped
believe
it out the heart of
fell
the
out of his
dragon.
corpse. Yeah.
It came out of no, didn't it come out of chest of Black Dragon?
Was Yeah. it?
Yeah.
That was the Baron.
I think.
No,
it
no,
was
it
Black
came out
Dragon.
of the chest of the dragon.
Yeah,
You guys
ripped
remember
it out
that?
I
of
just
the
think you
chest.
remember that too.
You were charmed at the time, don't worry about it.
Oh, of course, yes. I knew that.
and he says, so the Baron must have made it and put it into this dragon. What
How
better?
did Baron get into Dragon? I'm very confused.
I mean, I guess you just push really hard, right?
Well,
Tony
he,
attempts not to laugh his fucking head off.
he could have had the dragon swallow it. He was magical, you say. He could have done something to force it into him magically. Who knows?
Could have done this, and Moss opens up his chest plate.
And he says,
Well-
yeah, I mean,
I'm sure the dragon.
that too, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. I guess
It's
so.
pretty easy to get inside things. Try hard enough.
And he says, what better guard dog than one that has no natural enemies besides one of its own kind?
God, apex predator. Jesus.
And he says, nonetheless, though, this is concerning. I don't know if this room is big enough for what I need to try to do. Do you have somewhere safe we can go that's a bit bigger than this? And
The
gu-
ocean.
He says, the ocean. Well, I can't really breathe underwater myself, so...
Well, I could change that if you'd like.
And he says, I guess the ocean might work.
Well, I mean, there's lots of options. We could just I could just dig us another hole. You could just use it as like a research area, I guess.
I don't know if hole in the ground is super secure.
True.
I mean, ocean big, vast, can't squish you if you don't go too deep.
And he says, are there any caves or
Ooh,
large
we all
bunkers
turn to
around here?
Durgit. We all turn dramatically to Durgit.
There is large
Um,
cave, however, you might accidentally make city go down if explode.
I do know of the passage we used to get out of the city.
Yes,
But-
that's large cave that can
Yeah.
go poof, and then go make city go.
If you're not a fan of spiders, I wouldn't recommend it.
And he says, spiders.
That spider cave
Yeah,
there.
I
There's another
know.
cave out in the woods. What was in that other cave in the woods? There's something there that we fucked off from.
Oh yeah, it was. You don't know that, you weren't there.
Perfect. We have a cave.
No, we do not have a cave. Also, you don't know about the cave. Shut up.
You just suggested the cave, didn't you?
No.
Okay, then I don't know about the cave. Does the guard have a better option?
Probably out in very large snow area outside of city would be good.
And he says, yeah, I mean, there's nothing for miles around outside of the city. If you wanted to not destroy anything, that'd probably be a pretty good place.
Yeah, just don't go into direction of fish village people. Not nice.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of for Team Ocean, which I am biased towards, to be fair.
I am team either snowy tundra, snowy tundra or ocean.
I am Team Snowy Tundra.
Draken, do you have a preference? Where do you think would be best for your odd plan?
And he says, to be honest, I feel like underwater may not be that great for this.
Well, Tundra seems like a pretty good idea.
And he says, okay, yeah, Tundra it is. Lead the way to where we can go then. You guys know this area, right?
I do.
And he says, all right, well, I'll just follow you then.
I mean, snowy tundra is everywhere outside of city, so difficult to miss.
And he says, right, maybe I'll just take the lead on this one. All right, follow me, everyone. And walks out of the room and down the stairs,
Holding the orb?
holding the orb.
Hmm.
And,
Draken?
yes.
Do you maybe not want someone a little more secure to hold the terrifying artifact?
Sure, if one of you guys wants to, that's fine with me.
I hold up my big clanky hand.
Hold it.
And he hands
I'd
it over
rather you
to
could not hold the death orb.
You're already holding the box of spiders.
Oh yeah, I'm still holding that.
He hands it over to whoever takes it. I mean, Tony
I'll
or
take it.
the Drought or whoever.
I don't want him to drop it.
Okay.
I just have it like roll away down the street.
Trip down the stairs. Explodes. And the Baron comes back.
Oh god.
I love how none of the guards are questioning that I'm now suddenly talking in a weird accent. I mean, I still have the mask or the scarf on, but like still.
But yeah, so
Sorry.
yeah, he hands it over to Tony then, and
I'll hold it.
begins walking down the stairs again and says, "Just follow me." And
I follow.
walks down the stairs and walks by the Duke and looks at him and says, I have some experiments to run. I figured it'd probably be best not to destroy your castle. We'll be back in about an hour or so. And the Duke just kind of looks at him confused, like, yes, whatever you need to do. And he walks you down the main stairs and through the center of town and out the front gates and begins just walking towards the tundra, looking around and says, now, where's a good place? Where's a good place? And keeps walking and walking and walking. You guys follow. You're a pretty good distance from the castle now, probably like a quarter mile, half mile. And look around and says, I think this will probably be good. I mean, the castle's pretty far away.
Are you sure?
Well, you can never be sure about anything like this.
That's not worrying at all.
And the black cloud is above you, and you know the area you're at now, there's just a very large, almost perfectly circular like shadow over the ground where you are compared to everywhere else.
Is it definitely not over the city anymore? We're far enough away too.
Yeah, it's definitely not over the city anymore.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's clear the
In
city.
that case, Draken, what's your plan?
And he says, well, I have a number of spells that I'm interested in trying. One thing that I've been learning recently is gravity magic, and I'm curious what kind of effect that might have on our little phylactery here.
What is gravity magic?
And he says, well, you know how you walk along the ground and you never like float up
Yes.
into the air unless you know
Yes.
you magically want to? That's
Yes.
gravity that keeps you in place. And the magic that I use for that, it manipulates that gravity.
What?
Okay, so you're gonna make a Filtry fly? Or
What?
He says, well, I'm going to try a number of things.
Like
And-
gravity.
And he says, yes, like gravity.
And you. Tony's taken back for a moment.
And
Ooh.
he kind of builds up like a little pedestal of snow and puts the orb on it and says, all right, now we should probably take a few steps back.
Tony
Well,
sits on the
one
floor like
question.
a school child watching eagerly.
So, yeah, he kind of motions for you guys to, you know, take a few steps back and kind of claps his hands together and begins like manipulating what seems like a energy field in his hands. And you know, it seems like he's almost making a ball of dough, and like gets like bigger and bigger, and he finally kind of like lets loose of it and sends it out towards the orb, and it goes towards the orb, and when it impacts, you just see like almost like a wobbling sort of almost like steam. You know how you see like steam and it makes like a kind of wobbly, almost like a hot pavement, sort of like that, except very much more intense. And it just kind of as it hits, and as it does, it creates this large rip and tear, and shoots through the orb and kind of makes this long crevice of it. And the orb is just kind of sitting within this gravitational sort of rip, and it's wobbling back and forth, and you see the outside of it beginning to like crack and crumble, and it shoots off kind of like short purple lightning strikes as it begins to crumble and crack, and finally it seems like it's about to go, and it and shoots out like a purple lightning and cancels out the field and falls to the ground. Still cracked, but it begins to heal back over.
Tony starts clapping.
And Draken's just kind of standing there looking at it saying, that's concerning. Most of the time, something like that would just completely disintegrate under the pressure of the gravity. That's not like a hit. This is like being hit by a moon from the sky.
so
What?
if human would be getting spell and phased, human would go boof.
You can do that?
And he says, well, it wouldn't have a very good chance of survival, that's for sure.
He can do that.
Oh, I thought you were like frail person. Apparently not.
And he says, well, I assure you, I'm not frail. I just, I'm not the typical wizard, I suppose.
Tony is drawing a little picture of Dracula in his book, holding like a moon above his head, like wow, written next to it. And so cool on the other side.
And Draken kind of looks at the orb and says, I don't know what kind of magic it is that keeps us from being destroyed.
Do you have any idea what we could do to it?
And he says, well, I thought gravity might do something, but it seems to have the same effect as force damage as you punching it, so maybe brute force isn't the way to go. Maybe it's something more elemental?
Tali like
Fire?
raises her hand as if she's like, you know, as if she's in school.
And he says, yes.
Maybe try with fire?
Hardrada's already there with burning hands, like ready.
Moss
I
is
also-
next
I-
to him with produce flame ready.
I also got idea. So if Philip tree is held together by magic, isn't there a spell of make magic go poof?
But we did try. Oh, I tried that. Didn't work.
Oh, did we? Oh,
I did.
I'm sorry.
We can try again. I didn't.
Also,
I'm a bit strong now.
Dragon said thing will go not be there anymore if there is a lot of fire. That's why we wanted to go to Feywild.
Yes.
Well, yes. That was the thought. Was the forges of the Feywild being able to produce heat. True. This like turns to Hadrada. It's like our flames are sustainable, but in order to maintain that, a forge would be necessary.
Hardrada just casts 4 things with burning hands all at once. No,
Multiply yourself by 5, like 5 little clones, and then all of them burning hands.
Oh god, there's so many Hadradas.
This ain't fucking Naruto Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Wait, what about psychic damage? Is this thing sentient?
I don't think this thing is sentient. Or is it?
Not giving it a shot, is it?
Talia insulted.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy!
Fucking brown looking ass!
Can I throw the sun at it?
Some kind of egg!
Can you
Well, you could throw.
can you throw what at it?
The sun? I have scorching ray.
That's not how. No, that's alright. Just rubs his forehead.
I go and console Moss. No, it's okay.
It's
It's
not
okay.
a sun. It's
I know, but like, just let it have its fun, okay?
Sure, whatever. Sure.
Okay.
The power of the sun.
But I believe you're on the right track there, Draken. Fire does seem to be the bit, but is there a way you think that we could maybe buy us a bit more time, or figure out how much time we actually have before it reforms or hatches, whatever the fuck it will do?
And he says, well, I had wanted to avoid doing this if possible, but I could try to telepathically link with it. So I have no idea what might happen if I did that.
Let's not go for that one then. Don't want a little bear and birdie friend poking around in that brain of yours. That might be bad.
Can I try and open my mind to it?
Let's not do that. As he like,
Hadrada.
like,
We've been through this once before.
yeah, isn't that why you're fucking purple now?
I had to clobber
Green
you.
or whatever the fuck you are.
That's why I
I'm
said if
Pretty sure I'm
if-
red.
I readjust one of the lenses on Moss's face. Like, no, he's red. There you go.
that's why I said if orb things sentient, let Talia insult it. Don't you have like a
Yeah,
insult
well-
words?
Sure, but it's not the strongest spell I have, or the strongest spell there is
At least
regarding
we find
psychic
out if it
damage.
works,
You
right?
have to,
I
yeah,
have
you
a
have to be
pretty powerful thought spell.
Thought be
It's
gone.
multi-magical force.
Thought be gone.
I mean, we could see if like psychic damage does anything.
So I'm just supposed to throw an insult at it.
Yes.
Throw an insult at it as a test, and if it works, we'll Phantasmal Force the ball.
And I tell you, like walks up to the ball, gets, well, no, doesn't do that. Like does that, realizes, walks back, leans a little bit forward. It's like, look at you, little bitch ass motherfucking orb face. You're so fucking ugly, and casts just mockery on the fucking orb.
Oh, you got called an orb face.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Well, obviously it can't make a wisdom save, so as you do this, it doesn't seem like anything happens.
Pixel, you have 2d4
No.
on malicious mockery.
No cracks. No.
It's 1d4.
Oh, why is it still 1d4?
Roll another d4.
And then after casting, it just seems to kind of dissipate as it gets to the orb. And then you see a force come out of the orb back to you and hit you.
Wow.
I just
Okay.
dodged it expertly.
Can I dodge that?
You can roll a dex to try to dodge it if you want, yeah.
Cool.
Can I ask, is this
Oh,
technically
save
an
or-
attack roll?
or
I could intercept.
Save or just normal dex? Because I roll a save.
Just normal. Save,
Hmm.
yeah. And,
Okay.
yeah,
17.
dodge out of the way just in time before it gets back to you.
What is this for? Is it tangible? Like, is it there, or is it like a psychic, non-visible force?
Do you mind if I touch it?
It was essentially just bouncing back Talia's,
Oh, so it reflected it. That's not very...
terrifying.
Question.
Huh.
Can I touch it with Vampiric Touch?
Oh, sure, give it a
See if
shot.
it's a living thing.
Give it a shot.
Ping Vampiric Touch for me.
It's a
Necrotic
necrotic
damage.
spell which, like, siphons life force from things with 3d6 necrotic damage, and I regain that hit points. I pinged it for you if you want.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
And I'd be doing this at 4, so it's an extra 1d6.
Okay. You can try.
Okay. I'm gonna say, Moss, can you revive me if I die?
Not today, but tomorrow. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thank you. And then I touch it with Vampiric Touch.
It might be different though, as he like touches it.
21.
Okay.
I whisper to Moss, I think that's a good thing.
I'm guessing that hits because it's an inanimate object.
Yeah, it is. As you do, you try to siphon out whatever health life force might be inside, and as you do, it seems to pulse and shoot you 10 feet back.
And I say, hell yeah!
And you take 10 points of psychic damage.
Fuck no! Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That is, well, as you can see, turns to Draken. Seems like if you try to at least damage it with psychic, punches you in the face. But, maybe... Oh, if you want to keep doing guinea pig, Draken might be a bit unfortunate. Not for nothing, Hadrada, you do love tests. You want to try to read its mind like you keep reading mine.
Our daughter's just like, I don't remember reading their mind, but okay.
You do it literally all the time. It's very intrusive.
I guess I will use my awakened mind to try and communicate with it.
While this is happening, I would like to prepare myself behind a Drowder to beat you to a bloody pulp.
I'm also going to touch Hadrada and give him guidance.
I don't need guidance, this isn't a spell.
Guidance is for spell checks and saves, just in case you get fucked up.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So how about you don't turn down the buff I'm giving you?
No, I'm fine. I mean, I'm fine as in, please give me it.
Yes, you get a D4 on a check or a save.
I swear this has happened before.
So yeah, I'm trying to communicate with it. I'm like trying to probe it and say, hello there, whatever you are.
Okay. Roll me a wisdom save.
There it is.
Oh god.
Add a D4.
10 plus D4
nope.
Ooh, I'm about to clobber a dwarf.
plus 2, so that's 12.
Add a fucking 3.
Well, okay. So as you do this, your mind immediately becomes black. And as it does, you feel your whole body tense, and you begin seeing almost like a strobe-like flash in your head, like in the blackness that's been put there. And
Seizure warning.
you see little flashes of the Baron in his Nagpa form, and you see him inside of the phylactery, and he seems like he's screaming in pain and anger, and the flashes are very fleeting, and you take 5 points of psychic damage, and you're immediately just shot back 10 feet again.
I'm still behind him, so I would catch him.
Okay.
Pounds
You
in your
launted
fucking
both of
chest.
us.
Although I was stood behind you in the intent to beat you up if you turned crazy.
And as you're coming back to, reality, you're you still hear just the screaming that you heard inside of the vision just echoing in your head.
And I'm just like, oh well, this is fantastic.
So,
In my head.
what happened?
And I say, well, the Baron's in there for sure.
In there, and I point to the orb, or in there, and I point to Hadrada's head?
In the orb, I think.
Okay.
Is Hadrada lying? Is he lying to me right now?
Roll an insight against, I guess, Hadrada.
That's funny. Against what? Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, so I guess tell them what you wish, Hadrada.
Are you lying?
No.
Are you lying? No, there's
Not
no,
that
there's
I
no
know of.
bear. No, Moss turns
that
to
I
Tony
know
and
of.
gives. Moss turns to Tony and gives him a very stern, confident nod.
Nice.
We're clear. We're clear.
So-
Tony takes that as punch Andrada. No,
Murder him, go.
So you like psychically like it went in there?
I don't know. I tried to probe it. I guess I tried to
I wanna
say
try.
hi, and it sort of shot me back, and also
Well, he's in there. What is he like having tea?
I want to try.
no, he's screaming in pain, and I saw these weird visions of him.
Good. Fuck him.
I would like to attempt to message the orb.
The message, the orb.
Yeah, because the orb can respond with message. But I don't want to say anything. I want to let the other thing say something, if possible. Cool. I'd like to message the orb and just kind of let that happen.
Okay. As you do this, you hear very loud screaming, pain mixed with
Okay.
just pure unbridled hatred and anger. It begins echoing around in your head, and you don't get any visions from it, but you do hear the screaming and what sounds like very loud silence, if that makes
Right.
any sense. Like
Yeah.
tangible silence.
I know what you
almost.
mean.
Mhm.
Like in movies where like someone's like has a flashbang thrown at them and the whole sound goes out for a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
There's
really
just
eerie. that
one
kind of
long violin going.
thing. Okay. Does my head house buddy respond to the orb?
At this time, no.
Cool. In that case, I just got a lot of screaming. I'm gonna tell the group.
And as the message drops, much like Hadrada, you still hear it echoing just throughout your
Oh,
your
that's
ears.
unnatural. I could still hear Could you still hear screaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of an important thing to mention.
And it,
Yeah.
it kind of slowly fades out after time. It's not like, continuous, but,
Permanent screaming. I
and,
was definitely imagining a permanent screaming. That's much better.
but it
Can I,
does like kind of slowly fade out.
Yeah. Can I decipher any like particular voices in the screaming or words?
Roll a history check.
No. A 12.
It sounds like the Baron's voice. I mean, his bird form voice is natural.
The
voice.
shrill.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. But he's screaming.
Yes.
Is it a painful scream? Or like a ah?
It's a mix between pain and just pure anger, it seems like.
Oh, right. Cool. Well, he's not happy in there.
I imagine not.
Good to know.
It's not fun being trapped inside something.
So when will we go to Favor and destroy thing?
Seems now, but first we need a way there.
I mean, we have Forest Witch Hag.
Yeah, we have the knowledge of a witch that might be able to get us there.
Now that we know that it can respond to things such as that, I do actually have a spell where it can't, it can bounce back at me, but it also can't at the same time.
Let's not push the buttons with the giant death orb, okay?
Fair
The
enough.
giant
we-
death orb scares me.
We've got some info, we've got next steps. Draken, if you would, So here's the question. We have two avenues here. We can either leave Dragon to study it, see if there's anything else he can decipher while we go make this deal with this witch in the woods. Or we take the orb with us, or I guess we take Dragon home first, because it's, I mean, it'd be kind of useless just take him home right away, but I'll get him home, and take the orb with us to this witch lady, because it seems like, as much as I do want to go to the Wold Forge, that seems like a trip for later if it's still just sealed off.
But I don't understand why people can just throw dynamite at it when it's not unsealed anymore.
I don't. Oh, I thought you meant the orb. Dumb.
World Forge.
So that-
Oh yeah,
it's
just bomb it.
some magical workshop. I'm sure there's some fucking god hullabaloo or something protecting
Well,
it.
throw magic dynamite. I'm pretty
Oh
sure
yes,
there's
magic dynamite, as we all know.
magic, right?
I love Durgat's like impression of magic. Just there's magic dynamite. Just throw that at it.
Yeah, that's not how it works. But
Um,
again, that is much farther than this witch.
I'd like to ask Draken.
Hmm.
Would you prefer riding home with us very quickly, or would you like a nice, comfy carriage afforded for by the Duke?
And he
It'd be
says,
slower, but it'd be more comfortable.
And he says, well, I suppose I could do with the carriage. I understand you guys are in a hurry.
I mean, we can take you there. We're very quick, but
And please take lots of guards with you if you go by carriage, because we want to live.
And he looks at you and you see kind of like a little bit of like fear in his eyes, like, noted.
yeah, you can throw moons. You'll be fine.
And he says, well, I've never been in combat before, so
Listen,
experience
it's easy.
always outdoes raw power in my book.
The people with the stabby things, you hit them with the death.
Wow.
It's that simple. I've been doing it for like at least a year now.
And like I was joking earlier. I can bring you back if anything happens. Like that's not a problem.
And he says, well, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I think I'd very much enjoy coming back to the living. Death doesn't really suit me, that's why I stay in my tower.
Indeed.
So you would prefer a comfy carriage?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot, why not?
Fantastic. I will
You
have
guys-
the Duke order one.
You all should get moving. You need to get this thing taken care of.
But it seems it will be coming with us then.
In that case, back to Wintervale?
I don't honestly trust a carriage, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, the carriage is for him. Well, so here's the question, Draken. You can ride back, and it'll be a bit dangerous, or you could wait here, and we could leave it with you for a bit as we go deal with this witch. After we deal with the witch, we'd have to deal with the orb. No, not quite sure how long that would take. It'd mean you'd be here for a bit longer, but at the very least, I'm sure the Duke would be willing to set you up with a space, a quarters, maybe even a house in the town, where you'd be left alone, and you could do what you like while you're here. And whenever we get this, and he like gestures over to the orb, settled, I can come back and give you an express ride home. Really up to you.
And he says, well, that is an idea. I suppose I could stay here for a bit longer. It's not too bad, I suppose. It's livable.
Let's set up another tower right here.
Wanted to make some coin. Seems like a lot of the kind of turns to Tony. Magic shops are closed down for the moment.
Indeed.
And he says, that is true. Perhaps I could. Yeah, I think I'll stay here for a bit then. And he looks
Well,
at the
if that
orb and
is-
says, and you're leaving that here with me?
Well, do you think there's anything more you could decipher from it?
I
imagine
mean, I could
electric
run
would-
some more experiments, but the thing kind of gives me the creeps.
I mean, I think it gives us all the creeps. It's the certain death and destruction of all planes of existence.
I think we need to take it with us to smash it, right?
Well, take it with us when we go to the Feywild. We still don't have access. We're going to the Witch to gain access.
Yeah, but if we gain access there, we'd have to come back to get it, right?
Well, true, but it's only like a day flight here and back.
Ah, fair. We could keep it in the
Well,
creepy tower.
Hold on, as he like pulls out the map of fucking Aeothar that Moss definitely keeps in his back pocket. We know the witch is
excuse me.
beyond, like between the Lost Peaks and Blackfield, correct? Somewhere in that region, more towards Blackfield, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was said specifically the swamps in Blackfield,
The swamps in Blackfield. So,
or near Blackfield.
according to my standard flight time, should be about 2 days flight there and back. So if we take it with us, they know we're coming. We've got a big beacon following us. Granted, does clear out of Wintervale, but then that does, and then gestures to Draken, leaves a Draken here without a thing to do in the city, other than, like I said, if you want to make a bit of coin. But if we leave it here, there's something that he could muster, but not that I don't trust your ability, Draken. I do not want you to hurt yourself, because I do rather like the king. Rather not be in his poor graces.
And he says, well, if I stay here, I'm gonna keep a low profile and stick to myself mostly.
Fair.
So we leave it in the tower?
Tower or with us? Turns to the party. We
Tower.
take it less time, or leave it here and more time, but safer here, and maybe Draken can learn something.
Well, I'd say we leave it here then.
Yeah, leave it here because if we quickly need to run away, having a giant cloud with us is bad.
Yes, I would agree.
Fantastic.
Well then, and turns to Draken. I do hope you are careful and safe in your experiments, but I do hope you can learn something in the short time we are gone.
And he says, me too. I don't really know what this thing is, but hopefully I can at least learn some more about it. I highly doubt I'll be able to destroy it myself.
Well, you don't. No. Draken, allow me to switch your line of thinking. We're in charge of destroying it. We're the breaky ones. You're the thinky one. You're the smart one with the muscle.
Tony cracks
You-
his knuckles.
As long as you just learn whatever you can about it, we're going to secure passage to a place where we can properly destroy it. But anything you can learn to buy us time or give us a time frame, because we have no idea when this is going to pop. Anything you can discover for us. But do your best not to hurt it or break it. I'd hate for something to happen and me not be here. I have 10 days. 10 days before I can't do anything. I can't bring you back, and then you're actually dead. Just stay alive, yeah?
And he says, oh, I fully plan to.
Attaboy.
I like this guy.
Moss just gives him a firm nod.
So I suppose we'll be off back?
Guess it's time to go see about a witch.
We head back to the city.
Okay. Yeah, and Draken follows you. And, yeah, whoever has the orb heading back. I
I'll pick up
assume
the orb.
Tony? Okay. Yeah, and all of you start heading back towards Wintervale. And get back into the city and up the stairs to the castle and back up into the tower.
Yes, where the orb belongs.
And I assume you put it back into the cage.
Well, I'll at least give it to a guard to put it in the cage, because I don't want to go into the cage. It's magical, and ooh.
Okay.
I
So
don't
yeah,
want to mess it up.
they put it back into the cage and close the door on it. And
Tony wows the same way he did when they opened it.
the Drow advisor comes back up and relocks the arcane lock on it and reenacts the magic. Yeah, it's as safe as it could be.
Brilliant. What time is it?
Now I would say it's probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4:30.
4. Are we seeing which today, or are we seeing which in the morning?
I mean, we will see which in 2 days. Either
Yeah,
way.
No, I know.
Okay.
I mean, like, are we heading off to the?
Ah.
I'd say let's sleep in a bed for once, and then get going in the morning.
Sounds good to me.
I assume you all like beds.
I do like beds. It is my preferred method of sleep.
I'm
Yeah.
working on perfecting the dirt bed, but it's very difficult when you have
You did
big
pretty
balls.
good last time, to be fair.
No, it was a bit firmer than usual. If you stir it a bit first and then pack it, it works.
Yeah.
We
I
can
do
just,
like a firmer bed, though. So.
we can buy blankets and pillows. You can use
Oh
a
my
big
God.
blanket as makeshift mattress.
I've said
Still
this so
dirt,
many
isn't it?
times, Durgat. This is why you're here.
Yeah. Who's Sturgis?
I'd say we still.
Wait a
I'd
second, wait
say-
a second.
We're not in the city yet. We're walking back, right?
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh no, we've got to the tower. Ah,
Yeah,
there's.
we're in the tower. We're walking out. It's just us though.
Okay.
Us Draken's just following us, or I'm assuming he stayed in the tower, and the Duke's gonna get him quarters there.
Yeah, I would say he stayed in the tower.
Okay,
so
when
we say our goodbyes to Draken, and head
Draken.
off.
Okay, and when we're going, I drop my accent. Okay, so why wouldn't magic dynamite work? Like you can put magic on everything, right?
No, that's not how magic works, Dick.
Why not
You can't
magic
just
explosions?
magic? Well, so here's the thing: dynamite isn't just one thing; it's like a billion little things.
And it blows up.
Okay, but
And
can't
you
you
can't
just-
magic all of those little things. That'd take forever.
Yeah, but if you did, hypothetically, would
It's
it
called
work?
a fireball, and probably not.
My thought was to put a physical component together with magic, like a magical weapon, and
What,
throw
you
it at
mean
the
like a
thing.
magic forge in the Feywild? Yeah.
Tony's like stood next to
Oh,
Moss,
no,
like,
I mean-
yeah, but he has no idea.
Oh, I
He
think
failed magic school.
I think we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the World Forge.
World Forge. Oh, you're talking about breaking it. Oh, yeah. Well, so that's a whole nother thing. So here's the thing. There's got to be other people like me, yeah. If it was as simple as just blowing shit up, you could just move the earth out of the way.
Well,
It's
yeah,
got to
yeah,
be
that's why.
protected or something.
Well, yeah, it's why you said normal dynamite wouldn't work. So it was sealed up as a magical object thingy. Why just throw magic dynamite at it?
Well, again, if it's magic doesn't it's not like magic cancels magic. There's different layers of magic. There's more powerful magic.
Durgat.
Yes.
Alright, so imagine a stick of dynamite, right?
Yes.
Right. Now, are you thinking like if you get like a dagger that's like enchanted to do a bit more damage, you could put it on a dynamite?
Yeah, I'll make the
No,
explosion.
What that does is if you hit someone with the dynamite, it will bludgeon them for a little more. If I
I
throw the dynamite, it will still blow up.
Yeah, but
Moss-
wouldn't
Moss kinda
couldn't
looks
the
like Tony
magic
Blaze.
do like also make the explosion more magical?
It makes
That's
it
like taking your
stronger,
dagger
but not
and just
more-
blowing it up. The magic on your dagger isn't explosive. It just blows up the dagger.
It just does more of the same. It improves what you're doing already magically. And also, Tony, well done. Hitting the bullets.
Yerma taught me that.
Good lad. That's
Okay, well I'm just
Good old
trying to help
Yermir.
my mom. My mom's the wizard. I didn't read any of the books because I have a hard time reading things. I'm just trying to help. I'm just
I thought
very.
your mom was a prostitute.
My mom is a self-taught wizard and a prostitute.
But, they're
Ah,
not
fair enough.
mutually exclusive, Hedrada.
full-time prostitute.
That's rather offensive. What? Prostitutes can't be wizards? That's fucking sexist.
Honestly,
That's not what I meant.
Jesus. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna
realize
make a
we're
horrible
traveling
pun
with a
here. I
bigot
bet her
here,
the people
Jesus.
she services has a magical experience.
Yeah, maybe she steals
Oh
fucking
my
spells.
God.
That'd be sick.
Tony barrels of laughter.
You can't just make
Nothing-
jokes about Durgan's
Nothing
mom.
but respect for prostitutes. They are the finest performers out there. Let's be honest here.
I turned to Moss and said, "Trust me, Hadrada has a lot of respect for prostitutes."
As I'm sure you know, I believe he has very little respect for anyone.
Hey, I have a lot of respect for.
Yeah, that's what I
No
thought.
one.
I respect Durgit.
Do you?
Are you sure
Yes,
about
you're
that?
You're fantastic.
Yeah, well.
Dang,
Aww.
it's the only one Hadrada approves of. Everyone else sucks.
I think I respect Tony enough.
But yeah, so what are you guys
You
doing
think-
now?
We go
Off
to
the-
an inn, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have rooms in the.
I mean, we have rooms in the castle, don't we?
Yeah,
Also
then we
have
turn
my
around
house.
after leaving the castle and go back to the castle. and
We
sleep in
also
the
have
fucking
my
castle.
house.
You can go sleep in your house if you want. I'm sleeping in the fucking castle.
Okay, we can also go back to the castle.
That's up to you. I'm going to the castle. And
Oh,
Moss turns and walks to the
and
castle.
Talia like taps Moss and is like, okay, can I show you something that I learned?
Yeah, come on. And then he like pulls
Okay,
out the
and
bottle
she
and walks back to the castle with Talia separately.
So, okay, so Talia's gonna one moment. Talia's going to polymorph herself into a bird, into a raven.
It's like a normal bird. He just kind of like poof.
Just like,
Hey, look at you! He's like holds out his hand for you to land on.
I turn
She
around to
lands-
see Moss going, "Hey!" to a bird.
He's giving the bird
made a
little
new
scritches
friend?
under the chin. Well, old
Hey,
friend, actually.
ah,
Talia, you can turn to Ezia?
It's not quite as yet.
Yeah.
It's a bit
I
different.
guess.
Sorry, whoa.
Talia, say hi.
Oh.
Like Boss holds up the bird. Says, Talia, say hi.
Ah!
You'll get. It's a bit weird getting the call right at first. It's true. Getting the vocal cords are a bit different. Here, say it with me, and then Moss reiterates a perfect in his normal form.
Talia's just gonna like, ah!
No, it's more throaty than that. Do it with me. You ready? Like your warm ups. Ah.
Ah! Ah!
There you go. Almost there. Ah.
I'm imagining Tally's just going, caw, caw.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
ravens have mimicry, so technically yes. And this is all happening as Moss is just kind of carrying Talia back to the thing. And so as he's carrying, he's like, well, actually, I didn't really get into the minute bits with Draken. And on the walk back, he describes the slight differences between polymorph and wild shape.
And Talia, like, the bird, like, nods along, very interested.
Okay, but guys, can anyone tell me what exactly Talia did? Like Talia's Ezia, or I'm very confused.
No, it polymorphed into a bird.
Oh, polymorph!
Talia
Is that a
has
thing you
polymorph.
can do? Not the wild shape
Yeah!
one?
Talia has polymorph now.
Oh, good job, Talia. That's really cool.
Like
Ah.
you're just yelling. Ah!
Ah!
Ah! And she like flies to the ground and transforms back into herself.
I assume we're all
I
going
can
to
do
bed.
that now.
Okay.
Well,
So yeah.
not for nothing, but I grew a bit too. As he nods, he carries off.
That's what he said.
Bingo.
So everyone except Moss because he doesn't sleep.
No,
Yeah.
I'm doing a prayer.
Okay.
Firstly, I'd like to make a quick prayer to Bacob.
Okay. What are you saying?
Hello, Bacob. I guess I'm just kind of opening myself to his response in general. Just see if he wants to update me on anything, give me any guidance as a person.
As you do, you hear Bakob's voice kind of lightly in your head, and he says, "You've grown quite comfortable, Tony. Don't forget, the great evil is still out there,
I will not forget.
waiting for you."
'Tis my mission. I will never forget.
You are in a position to overcome this evil. Just don't grow comfortable. Don't forget the thread.
I will not. Thank you.
And it kind of wisps away.
Hmm.
Like a douchey father.
Now I'd like to
Simba.
make a prayer to... Well, I guess... A prayer to...
Hardrada.
to... Hadrada! Fucking be thy name.
You just hear Hardrada's voice through the wall. Yeah.
I would like to make a prayer to... the other one.
Okay.
In the same kind of general openness fashion.
Okay. Go to whispers.
Ooh.
So, you reach out and you feel an immediate psychic link,
Ooh, immediate.
and you feel the source isn't far away. And
Ooh.
you hear almost whisper in your mind, and it says, "You've been gone far too long. Come back to the sea. Come back to where I can get you."
Ooh. Can I like roll wisdom for that?
Sure.
Nice.
What are you trying to find out?
Just to see how much it impacts me. 19.
It doesn't make you feel compelled by any means, but you definitely notice it, and it did happen, and it was quite vivid.
Okay. Cool. Can I ask it what it is?
Sure.
Yes, what are you? And why me?
And as you do, you hear a whisper again, and it says, "I am as old as time. All creatures feared me. I was the true master of this world. Until they stopped me. But you freed me. And this world is mine to take once again. And you're going to help me."
You're really good at making decisions hard.
And
Okay.
it wasn't so much of him like kind of asking it or like stating it, like he's telling you.
Right. Like that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll go back to Jim.
Right. Nice.
In I guess early evening before Hadrada goes to bed, and he's like up doodling or something. He hears a soft knocking on his door.
Hadrada's like, yes.
It's me.
Oh, okay. And he like walks up to the door, and then says, and opens it, I guess, and then says, "Hello.
May I come in?
What's the password?"
Fire.
No girls allowed.
No, okay. I let well, Hadrada does say that, but I do let Moss in.
Ah, yes.
It's like an
always fire,
awesome,
isn't it?
awesome pillow fort in there already.
Yeah, there's just
Moss,
an awesome pillow for
Well,
it.
kick
ducks
ass.
his head, ducks his head under the door frame, comes to his side. Just kind of stands in the corner of the room, arms crossed. He's definitely a bit more closed than usual.
Hadrada says, you look a little tense. What seems to be the problem?
Yeah, don't I? Moss will like scratch the back of his head. Very weird. Okay, we need to have this talk. We haven't had it since I woke up.
I see.
Yeah, my mom's in your fucking head.
Well, I wouldn't say in my head,
Well,
but
whatever. She's giving you your whatever the fuck it is. Listen. Yeah, I have been chasing this longer than any of you have been alive. And you fucking talk to her? You speak to her. You've spoken to her. My mother, you've spoken to her. You've exchanged words, right?
yes.
Yeah, that's... Moss just kind of like rubs his forehead. The fuck? What am I supposed to do with that, Hadrada? You did it. Congratulations. You completed my goal. You found my answer for me. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with you? I've been trying to be nicer to you. I've been trying. Now I know. We're all kind of dicks to you. I don't really know why, if I'm honest. But you communicate with the being that created me, and like looks at himself. And I need more answers.
Hadrada sits on his bed and says, "You're right. First off, You're not sure why everyone's a dick to me? I'm not sure why I follow.
It's a bit, yeah. It's like, haha, yeah, Hydrata's fucking crazy. You're not that bad, man. Like, we're all dicks. We're all fucking shitty people.
You
Like,
didn't know me before I...
No, you're an inventor. You made a balloon. You fucking flew off.
You
Like,
didn't-
sure, you're
you-
weird sometimes, but
Yeah, but you didn't know me.
no, I didn't. I don't know
Before.
fucking any of you.
And
None of you know me either. It's why we all get along so well. We all know nothing about each other. Except for Durgit. We know a bit
Well-
about Durgit now. A bit more about Talia. That's about it.
I may have
Ross
killed
puts his hand up.
a lot of
puts his hand
people.
up. Well, as you say killed, he puts his hand up. I don't care. Let me make that clear. And he looks at Hydrata, and like 3 of the lenses zoom in. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you're going to do. I know 2 things. 1, you're my friend. And 2, you've completed my task. And Moss will kind of approach Hydrata. Are you still sitting?
Yeah.
Moss will approach you and kind of like hold out his hand, like to shake your hand.
And Hardrada shakes it back.
As you grab his hand, he takes you, pulls you in, and he hugs you.
And Hardrada's eyes like widen. You probably can't see this unless you have eyes
you're
on the
like,
back of your
I
head.
mean, you're a dwarf. You're like hugging his legs, but like
Yeah.
at the same time, like he pulls you into it. He probably kneels for this, so it is still a hug, but he embraces you. He's like, Hydrata, I wandered those woods. I wandered those woods for over 1,000 years. And I pop into here with no memories, and you have my answer. And he like breaks out of the hug, and he holds your head with both hands and looks at you with all of his eyes totally zoomed in on you. It's probably a little bit intimidating with no facial structure, but he's just focused on you. You fucking crazy, brilliant bastard. You found my mom.
And Hardrada says, well, I really honestly couldn't have done it unless, you know.
Yeah, it's circumstances are circumstances, Hydrata. Things happen. Shit's fucked up. We all do terrible shit. We're all horrific people. Again, why we get along. But, regardless, for me, just let's go. You ask her how old I am. You ask her why she left. And can you ask her how many brothers I have? I need to. And like his voice shakes. Moss's voice has been consistently, well, now that he's woken up, it's been very flamboyant and very boisterous, but you have never heard his voice waver.
And Hardrada just says, I honestly can't promise anything, but
I don't need you to promise. I just need you to try.
I can try.
Masa realizes he's still holding on to Hydrata's head and lets it go. Kind of looks down. Says, I'm sorry you think your past makes you deserve to be mistreated. But know that you have done more for me than literally any other living being alive. You and this group. But you, Hydrata, whether it be on purpose or on accident, have begun the end of my story. A very, very long, arduous story. And maybe now I can finally get some fucking answers. And whether it be now or whether it be later, it will be through you. And he like pokes you in the chest. Thank you. And Hydrata stays silent. He turns and leaves the room without saying anything.
Hardrada, just before you leave, says, how do you know your journey's almost over?
I didn't say my journey was over. Just the story. And then he closes the door.
Okay.
Nerdrota gets like a little smile from that.
And as you walk out, you hear a voice in your head that says, "You can't stay mad at him."
I think I can. And he walks off to bed.
Okay. So yeah, as all of you,
Is the voice familiar at all? Does he recognize the voice? He has a feeling, but I want to make sure as Oliver.
I would say that you probably don't recognize it immediately.
No? Alright. It's a soft voice, and then him being immediately a dick. Oh, that's so mocked. That's so great. Yeah, he walks off to bed after that, or bed in quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to sit in his room to think for 8 hours.
Okay. So yeah, as all of you float off to sleep, Tony and Hadrada go to Whispers.
Okay.
Okay. So, the two of you start to drift off to sleep. And as soon as you feel like you've drifted off and begin to get a little bit comfortable, you begin to sweat profusely. And somewhere in between that being awake and falling asleep time, as you try to drift off to sleep, you just feel stuck in that area. And in your head, you start seeing a darkness swirl about and flashes like a strobe light with the Baron in each flash. And Hadrada, in your head, you see the Baron, and he's almost looking off somewhere, like another direction, and he turns to where you can see his face, and he says, "They hate you. They can't stand you." Roll a wisdom save at disadvantage because you are technically unconscious.
Okay, let me just real quick do this to GM so no one can see me.
Good call.
Nat 20. And then at disadvantage, 10.
10. Okay. As the Baron says this, you get the slight feeling of, these guys don't respect me as much as they should. I'm better than they think I am. And that just kind of imprints with you as you're stuck in between this being awake and falling asleep area. Tony, in your head, you see a similar thing, the Baron's image flashing, and it kind of stops and stabilizes for a second, and you can see the Baron within this orb, and he looks at you and says, "You're too good for them. They're jealous of you." Roll a wisdom save at disadvantage as well.
That's an 11.
Okay. You also get just kind of an embedded feeling that I'm too good for these guys. It's always me that saves their asses. They never do enough for the group. And you're also stuck in between this falling asleep and being awake. As the day comes, the next day, you have not gone to sleep at all, and you have 1 point of exhaustion each.
Shit.
Where should I put that?
I think... Isn't there an exhaustion area on the sheets?
Don't know.
I'm gonna put it where I had clams written previously, as like custom resources.
Okay. Yeah, just put it somewhere then that you'll kind of know.
That's true.
I believe the first point of exhaustion is only disadvantage on skill checks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So should be pretty easy to remember.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the day comes. Let's hop back into general.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. So the morning comes, and
Do I hear any banging or stirring in the night? It's just a quick check.
roll perception.
I do have a passive perception of 22.
Hmm.
I will still roll if you like me to, but if 22 gives me anything.
I would say that you don't really hear any stirring or
No?
banging or bumping or no.
Alright.
It's pretty quiet.
As
night.
long as that, after talking to Hydrata, he was probably a bit anxious, but if he didn't hear anything, he's all right. Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, the morning comes and the day is yours. Tony and Hydrata come out looking a little bit exhausted.
Do I come out looking a little bit anything different?
So you would notice that there is a mark on Tony, right?
Where on Tony?
Mm-hmm.
On Tony.
On him?
All over the body? Or floating? Or
Describe the mark.
I imagine probably on my arm. I'm gonna go right arm.
well, that thing's covered in armor, isn't it?
Kind of like shoulder down. Right, I know I meme a lot about Tony literally sleeping in his armor. I don't think Tony actually sleeps in his armor.
I know, but I am assuming he's sleeping with clothes on, or at least a
Yeah.
shirt.
Like on his forearm or something, I assume. Like down
Mhm.
far enough that sleeve wouldn't cover it.
Yeah, it's like a sleeve. Like a tattoo sleeve.
I
That's what a
mean,
tattoo
long-
is.
Hell
I-
yeah. Hold on, yeah, no, describe this. But yeah, so I guess Moss goes around, since Tony probably stirred late, Moss goes around waking everybody up. Just kind of like.
But it's
nods
like
and
branded, not like penned.
Moss will like knock on Tony's door and swing it open as I guess he's like inspecting this mark on his arm.
No, I haven't noticed yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, well then Moss will go through everyone and wake everybody up one by one, starting with
I mean-
Tony as he always does.
Morning.
Oh, good morning. What the fuck is that?
What the fuck?
Talia like hears like she was a little bit sleepy when Moss was trying to wake her, and then she bolts up like huh, and runs to Tony's room because
Tony's sure there are two men screaming at his arm.
Moss is sitting there like trying to heal the arm because you.
Holy
recognize that
shit!
it's- So like, can I like check and make sure he's okay? You
Yeah,
said it looks
yeah.
like branding, right?
Yeah.
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 Roll a medicine check, I guess.
I will also roll my sleeve.
I said 10.
What the fuck is it?
I'm a lucky that one.
Okay.
For survival or medicine, sorry. There it is. 17. That's way better.
Okay. It seems alright. It doesn't look painful or infected or.
So, does it look healed? Like, is it done? It's a brand that is healed,
Mhm.
and there's no long-term scarring. Like, obviously, this has never
Well, it's
been
sc-
here before.
It's scarred, but I mean.
well, yeah, no, that's
it's-
not what I mean. Like, it's new, but it looks. Does it look fresh, or does it look like it's been there for a while?
It looks fresh, but it's healed.
Okay, but healed. Okay, it's just kind of like looking at it, running his thumb over it. It's just like, what?
Like it is still a bit kind of red around it, but it's not, like exposed muscle or
Yeah.
anything like that.
He'll hit him with just like a fucking level 1 cure, just to like make him feel a little better. Just be like, what the fuck happened to you?
Despite the lack of effect, this makes Tony a little bit happier inside.
And I like places the hand on it and seeing that it's still a little red and a little fresh, just like kind of finishes the healing process. I guess. It's like, what? Looks up at him. What did you do? What did you do?
Talia comes probably in at this point. It's like, what are you guys yelling for?
You
Do
see
I
Moss,
recognize-
like slightly like running his fingers along this weird brand on Tony's arm?
Do I recognize the thing depicted in the brand?
Do I recognize anything in this brand? Scar tissue?
Roll history checks.
Can I make that an advantage?
Sure.
Can I guidance him? Can I guidance Tony?
Yeah, that's fine.
Add a d4, and I'll also roll a history. Just nothing, just in case. 5, no.
That's a D5. There we go.
Makes sense,
D4.
Moss isn't from here.
18.
Okay. It is a brand of what looks like a trident with a circle around it.
Okay.
I would say history checks. Yeah, I'd say that's about all you get from it.
Right. In that case, more panicked breathing.
Hey, calm down. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tony. This doesn't look very Bacarby, does it?
No.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on, man?
Tony, if it helps, I have a disguise kit in case you want to put some makeup over it so people don't see it.
Has everyone gathered in my room?
At least in the
Her
doorway.
daughter's standing just outside of your door, so probably.
I probably
Talia
followed Talia. Because if
Yeah,
Talia is
Talia.
panicking in the morning, then something is happening.
The
Well,
moss
Talia isn't
came
panicking. She's
storming
just
in.
like, you know,
If Talia is anything but in a bad mood in the morning.
fair enough.
Also, visually, I look shattered.
Shattered?
Yeah, like, no, like, not, like, exhausted.
Oh, okay.
Colloquialism. But I say last night, when I went to sleep, there was... The Baron spoke to me.
What?
Fuck.
It was...
No, hey, let him talk.
It was like I couldn't move and I couldn't sleep, and all I could see was him. His birdie face.
Has that got something to do with this? And he like holds up the arm.
I don't think so, and that's what worries me.
Turns to Hadrada.
Her daughter just like stands there looking back and is like, yes.
Did you also have a dream?
Probably not. If so, I
Is he-
can't remember.
Is Hadrada lying to me? Side check. 19.
You think he may be lying to you?
Roll. Alright. Yeah. Hadrada, and all of the eyes zoom in. Very similar to the look he gave you last night. Don't make me regret that. Did you have a dream?
Yeah, I did.
Same thing. Like just as Tony. Just sitting there, staring.
He was talking to me, yeah,
What'd he say?
with his evil birdie face.
What'd he say?
Hardrada says, he said something about you guys.
Yes, Hadrada. What?
And her daughter's all like, he said that, that you guys all, he said horrible things.
That's not.
Eyes narrow.
Nah, that's nothing.
So
new.
was he just insulting us, or was he?
He was insulting you, yes.
Okay, Hadrada, just for reference, can you tell me some information about yourself that most people wouldn't know unless they would know you a bit better?
I killed, what was it, like 32 people?
He's right.
A bit more?
Was it 34?
So you mean you're a mass murderer?
No, I mean, like,
That
can
does sound
you,
like Hadrada.
like, for example, why are you here? How did you come to this group?
What's your bar order?
Is this Hadrada?
A boat crashed, and I got off said boat, and
Why were you in the boat?
we walked. While I was on the boat, I was heading to. Was it Esdale?
He doesn't know
Yeah, I
who he
was
is.
heading
Get
back,
him.
yeah.
Mhm.
Do I sense anything off about Hadrada in his mannerisms or speaking or anything that would point to him not being him?
Roll another insight.
Fucking 2, really? Yeah, I'll lucky that. That's important.
Ow.
16.
Okay.
one more.
Hardrada looks tired.
Yeah, no, he
for
just
one.
seems exhausted.
Moss just kind of like
Maybe a bit annoyed.
yeah. Moss puts a hand on Durgat's shoulder. It's like it's him. It's all right.
Okay.
Stand
Just the
down.
experience with weird shit happening in mine, then suddenly you're not you.
That's you twice. He's like, trust. After last time, I'm very vigilant.
And he said, and Hardrada says, "I'm just a bit tired. That's all."
I'd imagine so if you had to look at that ugly mug. But at least let's get some breakfast in you, yeah? And he like puts a hand
Yeah.
on Hadrada's shoulder and like still in Durgat's arms and pulls all of us out of Tony's room so that way he can put on his face.
And guys, don't forget about asking about the pillows and blankets.
That's
Yeah.
on you.
And-
Oh, I don't sleep. And he walks downstairs.
And Hardrada says, "I'll catch up with you guys," and heads to his room.
Okay.
Not
Target,
trying
are
to be
you real-
stealthy or anything.
Durgit, are you really gonna try to steal the pillows out of the castle?
Not stealing, I will ask.
Just
Fucking
That's
hell.
called character growth right there.
walk out with like a giant
I
bulge in the
feel
front of your
so
shirt. Like,
without like any specific, like major
You are
reason.
literally called a thief.
Before I
That
joined
is
the
your title.
before I joined the party, I stole because I got paid for stealing.
Aren't thief.
Thief is my job, not
that's
like
typically how it works.
Yeah,
Thief is their job, not their personality.
yes.
that's fair. As a security guard, I fucking vibe with that heavy. Actually, you know what? That's a really good one. You fucking got me. Holy shit, that's perfect. Damn. Wow. Sorry, that one took a second. Stewed in it. Real. Wow. Yeah. No. Move on. Sorry. Yeah. Hats off.
Damn right, sir.
What are you guys doing? Your
Breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
I'm
We
getting
all, go,
dressed.
we all go down to breakfast, but if Atrada stays behind, Moss would notice and go back, I guess.
Hardrada will put an arcane lock on his door and then begin to, like, carve out, not carve, but like, sort of draw with, maybe his ink or something, just anything he can use, whether it be his ink, his, grappling hook, like, his, like, not his grappling hook, his, like, rope or anything. Just basically my point being is he's going to draw on the floor with something not permanent that a arcane symbol and sit in the middle of it and begin praying to
The Baron.
no
To the Baron.
to what's her face
Brian.
Cry.
Vry. It's written right here, and I didn't even read it. Like, it was right in front of my face.
You just
Moss is
hear,
just
"What's her
going
face,
to-
huh?" and get nothing.
Moss is going to just like kind of post out, like he goes, tries the door, probably knocks, probably doesn't get a response because he's going, tries the door, it's locked, and then he'll just sit with his back against the door, and just sit there and listen because I'm pretty sure anything behind the door he'd be able to hear, and just kind of like make sure he's all right. And
Okay.
listen, if he does anything, he's there, just in case.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what are you saying to Brycorn?
I'm saying I require guidance, my lord.
My lord? Isn't it
My
more like my
goddess.
lady?
My lady, yeah. My lord, I bow to you. No, okay.
Lord
So,
Baron, what is thy bidding?
What is my bidding, my master? No, okay. So, I always thought when I was younger, I always thought you were saying thy bidding,
Anyway.
like THI. Okay, whatever. He's going. I'm gonna say, or Hardrada is going to say, I have had a creature invade my mind, and I require your assistance to get him out.
And she says, "Well, I don't know what you expect me to do. I'm a builder, not a healer."
I know what you can do. Can you tell me? Can you help me
I can
answer some questions?
And she says, "I can try my hardest."
I try to pull out a notepad. No, actually, he will pull out a notepad. And say, well, first off, what do you know about my party?
And she says, well, besides you and my child, not much. You seem heroic.
How? A quick question about your child. That is, you have multiple children, right?
I have many.
Could you tell me how many?
And she says, well, why would you be so curious?
Because they may be my path to unlocking certain powers some people consider unnatural. No, but like, my point being is like, I want to learn from them.
And she says, well, I have 8 in total.
And then he like jots that down. Another question: are you all seeing, or are you, or can you only see what is in your domain?
I'm what would be considered quite far away from you, though I can see some things.
I see. I guess a final question. I do not want to interrogate you too much. Where might I be able to find some of these other children?
And she says, well, they've been scattered to many different places.
And why is that?
For a failure of mine long ago.
Care to elaborate? I don't want to prod or anything, but...
And she says, a story for another time, perhaps.
And I say, thank you very much. And he jots all that down.
Okay.
And then says, this has been much helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, your connection with Bray ends.
Mm-hmm. And, I, knock on the door. Or actually, I have a question. Can I tell that Moss is outside?
Probably not. He's just standing there being quiet, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
I was
They'd
just sitting
probably
outside the door.
take you a bit by surprise.
Okay, so I, unlock the door, and, I, like, open it, and
And
I'm
Moss
guessing
is back, is
it's an
sitting right there.
inward... I'm guessing it's inward opening, because if it's outward, I wouldn't be able to open it.
No, it's outward.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
I can't
push it,
open it then.
You open it,
You
it
just
fucking
push
hits
it.
Moss back. Goes, ah! Well, he would have heard you coming and stepped away.
Okay. So I open the door and say, oh, hi, I don't suppose you heard any of that?
I heard most of it, yeah. Appreciate that,
And
actually.
he takes out his notepad and says, I put myself at a great risk doing this, so I'm sorry.
I don't see how it was a risk, sir. But I apologize.
Risk
if it
of
was one.
losing my powers for prodding too deep.
But, you know, if she's ever just like, hey, don't ask me that, just don't ask, you know? You
True.
don't gotta- I don't think that's a risk at all. I think that's... Moss kind of like shrugs of his like, although I do appreciate you letting me know. You asked her to elaborate. Can I ask on what?
And I pull out my notepad and give him it.
It's like, he's like flipping
Okay.
through, just kind of looking at it. When he gets to the part about a failure, all of the eyes like zoom. It's like zoom. Alright, fair enough. If you say it's a risk, and I'll like slap the notebook, save more questions for hopefully a later date when I guess maybe you've earned the right to ask questions. Well, is she not happy with you or something? And he like takes you by the arm, not by the arm, like by the shoulder, and like guides you downstairs for breakfast.
And he says, I'm not actually sure. I like to believe she is, but I don't actually know.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah?
What does she look like?
And I give him, or Moss, the description of Bry with the, like, sort of mechanical look that she has.
He's kind of like just walking. You see all the eyes. Most of them stop moving. There's still a couple moving, but most of them are still.
It's very robotic looking, but a very like definitive, like female sort of frame.
Mm-hmm.
Bit more human, natural looking than mine, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of just like thinks about it. Does hearing this description stir any memories or anything?
Not so much, no.
Just kind of, he's sitting there and he's like hearing the description. He's just shaking his head and he goes, "Oh, all right, nah, that just stop. It's, I do appreciate it though. I do. No, let's go at your shoulder and takes a bit quicker pace ahead of you."
Before he can do that, Hardrada like pulls on his leg and says, "Is the only reason you're staying with us because of your quest?"
It's the only reason I'm anywhere, Hydrata.
Fair enough.
But if I'm honest, I did miss being entertained and staying in that castle while, I'll be honest, healing soldiers of minor stab wounds of stopping muggers got boring after a bit. Even in that form, it was nice to be needed, but, you all always put on quite a show.
And Hydrata will say, "Thanks."
What's your insight? What's your passive insight?
Passive perception?
No, insight. But it's just
I don't
whatever.
have a passive
10 plus
insight.
insight. Do you have any
10 plus insight? That would be 17.
17, yeah, he noticed it then. His fist is bald this entire conversation.
Okay. So, Hardrada will leave that alone.
And then, if that's it, he turns and walks downstairs.
As you're walking downstairs, Tony bursts out of his room, armor on. Very exhausted. I am missing a sleeve, though.
Like
The
a
one
sleeve
with all
of
the things
clothing,
on it?
or like a
Yeah.
sleeve part of like the armor?
No,
You
like-
intentionally left it off?
Yeah. I am not wearing my right arm of stuff. It's just airing out.
Moss, like, as he like first step down the stairs, poof, door opens. Turtle, what's kind of points? What's going on there?
I'll be honest, I'm a little bit scared to find out.
Didn't want to wrap it up, just letting it breathe.
It's so cold when I, like, show like my metal gauntlet and touch it. It's just, it feels wrong.
Want some moss? Like, holds his hand up and a bunch of plants start growing.
I appreciate the gesture, but
Moss always made me feel better. He like puts a little bit more on his head.
Tony's going to exhaustedly walk downstairs.
Moss will follow.
And while you all were arriving, doing whatever, Talia was probably sitting downstairs and telling some kind of probably very fabricated story that she swears happened to whoever is willing to listen.
Me.
Hardrada will just say nope and walk back upstairs.
Wow.
I'm just munching on my breakfast and look at you very interested.
Oh.
Just let him be. And Moss will just like plop down. It's like, Tony, I could use something delicious, please.
I look around the room. Is there currently any cooks there that haven't been evacuated?
Yeah, there's cooks that are there.
Oh,
There
in that
is
case-
like food set out already.
In that case, Tony is too tired to cook. He's not physically too tired to cook, but he would rather not.
Okay.
He's exhausted, so he will kind of say, I mean, with all this food here, it'd be a shame to let it go to waste, right? And, begin chowing down.
Fair enough. I'm also just like take an apple or whatever's near.
Yeah, there's quite a few different things. There's fresh fruit, there's bacon, there's sausage, there's eggs, there's toast.
I would just take some fruit then from us.
Okay.
I'll get some bacon and toast.
Okay.
I'll light a breakfast for Tony. He's not eating everything in sight.
Okay. Fair enough.
Quadrado will refrain from eating.
Hadrada's on a diet.
Quadrado is on
Just
a
trying
diet.
to thin out.
Yeah.
Is Hadrada's color any different in the morning?
His color?
Yeah,
Yeah, the color of his skin. Had it changed at all?
Yeah, it might be like a little flush just from being tired, but overall,
nothing like it.
no, it's
Alright.
about the same.
Just making sure.
Hmm.
Alright, yeah, I eat breakfast.
Okay. Yeah, and you finish up breakfast, and what's the plan?
Yes, we leave for the witch.
Oh, yeah. The witch.
Wait. Pillows and blankets.
Oh, pillows and blankets, yeah.
Okay, who are in this castle would I ask to get some pillows and blankets? Or buy?
I call over a god.
I mean,
Excuse me?
the owner of all said pillows and blankets, the Duke, maybe? Might be a good start.
I call a god over.
You don't want some poor servant girl getting her hands chopped off for thievery or something now, do you?
Moss doesn't care. Doesn't sleep.
I care.
I thought you were gonna say Moss doesn't care. You cut your hand off. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck you, idiot.
But, okay, Tony, you call over a guard.
Yeah. Say, hey, we're heading out on some pretty important business. We were wondering if we could get some, like, pillows, blankets, like a bedroll maybe, to rest on our journey.
And
Could you sort that out in some way? Or tell us where we can find someone who can.
And he says, well, I could talk to the Duke.
That'd be great, thanks.
And you see him head off. And a few minutes later comes back with just a pile of pillows and blankets. And comes back and says, he says it's okay.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Sick.
Much appreciated.
And,
Moss will take them and store them in the bag of holding.
okay. And yeah, it's a pillow and blanket for each of you.
Nice. I'm trying to do
Sounds
assorted pillows and blankets.
Since Moss doesn't sleep, you guys can have turns having a second pillow.
No, Moss still takes the pillow. Fuck you guys.
Wow.
Doesn't sleep. Still needs something comfy to sit on.
Fair.
That's true.
Can't get mad at him for that.
And Moss will just like kind of be waiting outside, making as everyone comes out.
Tony will slog out.
Hey Tony, Hadrada, are you guys sure that you want? We couldn't wait another day for you to get some rest. You guys look exhausted.
Quadrado's not there.
Where is Hadrada?
Quadrado's in his room.
Okay, go get him.
Why is the driver in his room?
I'm gonna go back into the castle and go to Hadrada's room.
Oh, you guys are leaving the castle? I thought you
Yeah.
guys were still eating.
No,
I thought
we
we
left
just
the
finished it, we were
castle.
leaving. Well, you're still in your room, so you're still there.
Well, yeah, I would never have been alarmed of, like, you guys going
Yeah,
down again.
so I'm gonna get Hadrada from his room, unless the door's locked.
Okay. Is the door locked, Hadrada?
No.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll just knock.
Hello? Who's this?
Hadrada, we're leaving.
Oh,
you
there we
coming?
get there. Do I have a choice?
I mean, I asked, well, I don't know. I guess, I was, saying that maybe we could wait another day for you to, for you and Tony to be a bit more, you know, up on your feet, cause, you guys look like you caught a fever or something, or at least you're acting like it.
I'm fine.
Are you
Mm.
sure?
And he says, "Yeah, I'm fine." And like, the door is already open, but you know.
Okay, I mean, I have a healing potion in case you need like a little extra, eh?
I'm fine.
Okay. And then I guess we leave and go outside. To the others.
Morning, sunshine.
Okay.
Yeah, brother.
Wait,
No.
where's the
Tony, are you positive that you want to leave right now? I asked Sarah the same question. Do you want to?
I'll be fine by tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we can stay here another day so you can properly
No,
rest.
we can. We're gonna
We have a night
take
of-
a stop on the way. It's fine.
God, I was a bird already.
We can take a
Wing.
stop on the way. It's fine.
Wing, very large gust of wind as it slams onto the ground over all the party. Another impatient.
Hey, I'm getting on. I'm getting on. Clue.
Sorry. Where's Spaz?
Spaz is always by my side.
Okay.
Told if you
Talia is
didn't
in the
that he's
dog
left
house.
it.
Spaz is in the doggy vest that Talia wears while we fly.
You
And
mean
Spaz-
Talia is in
Exactly.
the doggy
Exactly.
vest?
Yeah,
That's
no,
that's
that's right.
what
Spaz
it's
got too big, so now Talia is in the doggy vest on Spaz's chest.
And since Tony didn't eat all of the breakfast, Spaz probably did.
Okay, so
And
bringing
I
Spaz
will-
with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
Yes,
we will-
obviously.
Hardrada
Make away.
lumbersomely gets on.
Got him.
Lumbersomely?
Got him fastened
What
up tight.
Eh,
Lumbersome?
Lumber, you had it. You're good.
both are pretty,
Um,
both are essentially right. So
Moss will take off in the direction that he knows Blackfield is in from looking at the map. And just start flying that way until he sees swamp in search of Lorraine.
Or might be
Or Lorai.
good.
Can't remember how to pronounce it.
okay. So leaving
This dog
Wintervale,
princess.
you guys. Oh, oops. You guys would probably get about there on the first day.
About 20 to 25 is our average.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, about there.
Right, and then shape back into a mole. If there's like a hilly area or something, be nice. Maybe some area with some trees for some cover. But definitely off the beaten path. Just like somewhere, yeah, just in the plains.
Mhm.
And then I'll dig down. I'll do like a
I would say, since you guys are like at the entrance to the swamps, that this is still relatively dry, but literally no more than like a stone's throw away is like the edge of the swamp. So you're like right
Oh,
on the edge
nice.
of it.
Oh, yeah, so we're like at the entrance to the swamps then.
Yeah, but the swamps
shit,
are
okay.
pretty vast. So
Oh, okay.
like the whole western side of the map would pretty much
Yeah.
be swamp all the way to the coast.
I see it. So, friends, Masa, I guess, finishes digging our new standard layout with the irrigation duct in the front, so it doesn't flood. With now new and improved padded beds
Talia?
with an inlay for the blankets and pillows.
Talia probably like to help him also polymorph like into what's the animal again?
Giant badger.
Into a badger, but like she she can turn giant, so she's just a small one and she's doing her best to help him.
Oh, well, so you're the medium and I'm the big one. You're
Yeah.
still a giant badger. I'm just a huge badger.
No, you're still medium. I haven't cast out.
Oh, well, fuck you then.
I'm sleeping.
You're not sleeping. There's nowhere for you to sleep.
No, I'm sleepy.
Moss is like, he like goes into badger form.
If
and
you
goes
bother
to
me,
start- Yeah, no. Well, so he goes to start digging in badger form, and then realizes he's not big and looks at his hands, and looks over at Tony. He knocks on his
oh.
head.
message. Hello.
Oi, what the fuck?
What?
No, hey, what's going on?
Hmm?
I will
Mr.
pop out
Badger?
of this right now. What's going on?
What do you want?
Do not make me drop this. Why are you being weird?
I'm tired. Okay.
Oh, I'm tired. We've been flying fucking halfway across fucking landmass. You should be
I didn't-
awake by now.
I didn't
What
get
do you
much
mean you're
sleep last
tired?
night.
Yeah,
Okay.
you didn't get much sleep. No, Tony. We're gonna have a conversation, but first I need you to make me big so that way I can get
Okay,
this
okay,
done.
I'll make you big. I'll make you big, and I cast Enlarge Reduce on him.
Thank you.
Please, my head's pounding.
Okay.
All right, we'll get you a bed soon, and then now that he's big, we'll go and make the bed with assistance from slightly
Yeah.
smaller giant mole Talia.
Okay.
Talia's just really excited that she can also do this now, so she wants to use it at every opportunity she has.
I'll do like the main tunnels, and Talia will do the detail work.
Yeah.
She gotta find her. eye
Talia's
for
doing the
detail.
decorating.
Yeah.
There's like some
There's
like it
chandelier.
looks like a flower. It looks like a flower pot, but it's a flower
It's
pot made
dirt.
out of dirt.
Dirt chandelier.
Dirt chandelier, shit like that.
Flower pot made of dirt.
All the
Okay.
rooms have desks
Isn't that just
now.
a pile of dirt?
We're slowly just going up in like the hotel quality chain. Like you started where it's just like the one gross bed, and then there was like the slicey nicer bed with the end table, and now we're at the one that's got like the bed and the desk. And next we'll have like a sofa
Yeah.
in each room. It's gonna be sick.
We're just gonna start stealing furniture.
No, we don't need to steal it. We can make it out of dirt.
Yeah, but that's still a bit uncomfortable.
Well, I'm sorry. Do you have something that can carry around furniture? Can't fit everything in the bag of holding.
So we have 2 bag of holdings.
Yeah, still can't fit a fucking couch into those.
Oh shit.
Only if it's made of cheese. It's a reference to Cards Cafe, ignore it.
God
Yeah.
damn it. But we finished the house, underground house, irrigation tunnel, and fancy rooms and all.
Okay. Cool.
Pop
So yeah,
out.
you get it all dug out, and you now
Yeah,
have
and Talia.
a place to
changes.
lay your head.
And once
Slight-
Talia like
Sorry, go off.
once Talia like also pops out of her polymorph, she's like does this like
Dusting the hands off.
yeah, dusting hands off. Thank you.
We are both
And-
caked in dirt. Polymorph
Just
pops off. I am still caked in dirt.
She looks at Moss and is like, "This is fun."
Yeah, it's quite nice. But before surprise, slight modification, and then points at Tony and Hydrata. Roomies tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you put me in a room with him?
You're both gonna be sleeping, and I'm gonna be watching, because you both are fucking weird lately.
I'm not gonna get any
It's
sleep.
more
Hydrata's
weird
my
to watch.
roommate.
Good. I listen to you all sleep anyway. It's no more weird for me. Get used to it. All right, downstairs.
I've had to sleep in a room with Hydrata before. Do you know what he does? He speaks in his sleep. It's weird.
Yes, I'm aware. You can talk back. It's fun. Come on.
Okay.
In that case, Talia, roomies,
Roomies.
just yell if something bad happens.
Well, it's literally like one big room, technically. We can't do doors yet. We can't do hinges out of dirt.
Okay. So
Wait, how will we
not
do
yet.
night shift?
We'll figure it out.
Okay, Talia, doesn't you need less sleep anyway, or less? You're not really sleeping, are you?
I'm meditating.
Yeah, how long is that?
Let me check.
It's still watches.
Think
4 watches, right?
6.
Right, Mike? 4 watches.
What?
I just 4 hours a day, so
It's 4
Doesn't
watches
seem
through the
that-
night, right?
Mm-hmm.
meditating deeply.
In
Yeah.
that case, we can just have to cover the first and second watch, and then Talia can do the last 2 because Talia doesn't need to sleep more.
Yeah, I only need 4 hours of meditating, and then I'm good.
Okay.
Moss can technically
says
just
here.
assist with all of them, or he can do all of them and you can assist them. Because he's, like you said, he's just sitting there always awake.
Yeah, I mean, however you guys want to do it.
Moss can do
I want to
first.
sleep.
Yeah, Moss will do first. So Tony and Hydrata are not doing watches.
Okay.
So if Talia is doing 2, then Durgat and I will each do 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I will do the first one. Durgat can do the second.
Sounds good.
And Talia does the last 2.
Beautiful. All right.
Okay.
So I am doing first watch.
Yeah. So go and roll perception.
Absolutely. That's a 24, my good sir.
24. Okay. Yeah. So it's still pretty early in the night, and there's a lot of sound here in the swamps. You hear insects making noise. You hear frogs chirping and croaking. It's very loud with ambient noise, and yeah, your watch goes out without an issue. So,
Yeah, well, during my watch, I will also do, since we are in a new kind of terrain that he is in, quick little ritual cast of Commune with Nature, probably towards the end of the watch. I would like to know of any buildings, influence from other planes of existence, or powerful celestial, fey, fiend, elemental, or undead within 3 miles.
okay, within 3 miles. Within that frame, you don't sense any fey, fiend, or undead, or elementals. Nothing of that nature. As far as buildings go, you don't get the sense of any buildings within 3 miles. Terrain and bodies of water, though, there is an abundance of. There is a lot of terrain that is separated and broken up into small, almost like little hunks of island from the water. So
any
this is a very...
influence from... So also, actually reading through it for the first time, I only get to pick 3. So I was showing the powerful, any influence, and any buildings. So was there any influence also within 3 miles?
No.
Wonderful. And also with that check done, he just kind of nods, and also in that respite, probably at the end of his rest, like right before he goes to wake up Durgit for their watch, he'll just like go back into the shared room where it's still very spacious and big enough as 2 rooms. He just kind of knocked out the wall and built a chair in the middle, and like just kind of go back in and look at Tony and look at Hydrata and see if either of them are either A, still awake for some reason and not getting their rest, or B, if they're resting and like stirring or being unrestful and like making sure they are okay in the night.
Okay, so roll a perception check as you look at them.
Yes, sir. 27.
Okay. You notice that they seem asleep, but their eyes are just barely cracked open. You notice they are drenched in sweat and stirring quite a bit.
Moss nods. We'll walk over to Tony. Like the whole joke, Tony doesn't sleep in his armor, right? Like,
No.
Moss will just kind of like in his like half like slumber, just kind of like kneel next to his bed and try to quietly, just so he like doesn't wake him out of his like half sleep, try to cast a greater restoration onto Tony and take off that 100 gold.
Okay. And as you do that, it seems that he sleeps a little better.
Would like to say something. Hydrata's not actually asleep. I probably should have said that earlier.
Okay,
That's
well,
fine. If
we
you're
can get
awake,
to
he still lets it.
we can get to all that. What I want to do is get through the watches, and then we can get through those of you that have other stuff going on throughout the night. So Durgit, you'd be taking the next watch, right?
Yep.
Okay, so go and roll perception.
11. Well, I'm getting assassinated.
11. Okay. So as you sit out, taking your watch outside of the structure, again, it's very loud with ambient noise, a lot of bugs and splashes of water and frogs you can hear in the distance, and it's almost like an audible buzz that you hear. Looking around, you see that it's actually pretty well lit outside for it being like nighttime, and look up and you notice that the moon is full. You hear in the distance, far off,
Well, I'm telling Talia.
and crunching through the woods.
How close?
Fuck it.
About 60 feet, give or take.
slowly standing up and walking back into the cave, and then I'm tapping.
And as you stand up, you hear like a from the darkness.
Does Moss hear that from downstairs? He's awake and passive of
I
22.
have a very stupid idea.
I
just make.
Sorry, what's that?
I'm just making like that noise back, like as like intimidation.
Okay.
This is a dumb idea.
And you do, and you
Can
see.
I roll intimidation?
Sure.
22.
22.
Does that do something?
Okay. You do this, and you see a dark shape jump out from the trees, and from
Sword time!
the left corner of your eye, you see another one jump out as well.
Okay,
And you are currently being flanked almost by these creatures.
And I hear
Okay.
this from downstairs. Passive 22.
Yeah, I would say you probably do.
I'm slowly taking out my rapier, and I'm slowly backing away into the cave.
During my watch, did that count as a short rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, perfect.
Yeah, just as long as you're just chilling and stuff, that's fine.
Beautiful. So Moss will, on his way up, like, kind of like hurriedly, but as quietly as Moss can. He's not a very quiet man. Just be like, action, action, and like shaking everyone awake.
Okay.
And then I guess he will. He'll go into one of the combat forms. That God, it's been so. No, no, he's not. No, he is not. He's going to run upstairs in his Moss body.
Okay.
Talia's following.
Okay. So basically, everyone except Tony and Hadrada are coming out.
Well, I wake you
Or
up as well.
sleeping.
Follow. I wake you up.
Okay.
Oh.
And
Ugh.
you have been magically cast, so you slept really good for that first watch.
Fantastic. I need to pound some things.
It's time to
Alright.
hit things. Hadrada, fire? Fire.
Mate.
I'd rather get to that.
Okay.
Was that sleep long enough to heal a point of exhaustion?
No, because we still have to get to that after all this.
So I get up. Ugh. And I'm pissed.
Durgate, so you said that you're slowly backing up into the structure?
Yeah.
Okay. As you do, you see the shadow of one of these creatures standing, looming at the doorway of the structure, and kind of sniffing and looking down into it.
These wolves must be very desperate.
Greater Restoration does remove a point of exhaustion.
Fantastic.
Okay, then yes, you would be.
So, which one of those wolves is it?
Time to fucking
This one.
Okay, does it know I'm there? Probably yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say at this point, too, everyone roll initiative.
There it
Good.
is. 6. Use lucky on initiative rolls.
Oh.
Technical check. Use lucky
Hold
on
on.
initiative rolls.
What's that?
I don't know.
No, I don't
Did not
think so.
fuck myself.
It is
That's
technically a
pretty
dexterity check,
good.
so you might be able to.
There we go.
But I don't know. Temporary rule.
Rule by book is yes, but Mike, you can say no if you want. A rule by book is yes, because dex is initiative is a dex check.
Okay, that's fine then.
Beautiful, thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
New initiative. Nice. I'll take the 6. That's what I get.
Okay. So, Tony, you would be up.
Nice. I'm running at someone
Why is Tony's initiative 20?
because I rolled a 20.
because I woke him up.
Yeah, okay.
These
I'm
fucking
waking
wolves.
up.
I'm storming at this wolf. And I'm gonna give him a good wallop.
Okay.
Firstly we get a jab.
That
And then a
hits.
stab.
The stab doesn't hit.
No. He gets jabbed for a... You're getting fucking smitten. An extra 7 and I'll grab him. Sorry, one.
Yeah. Blue.
Yeah.
You forgot to turn your rolls public again.
Oh, well.
That's why I was asking because I didn't see it.
I got a 19, a 10, and I did 5 and 7 damage. Rolled an 8 on my strength, which means I don't pick him up.
Yeah, he did roll a 19 on the strength to resist. So. Okay. Is that your turn?
I do 12 to his face, and I look at him real fucking annoyed.
Okay. Durgit, you're up.
Okay, I'm walking over here and stab because flanking and shit. I want to make damage.
Okay.
27.
That does hit.
Wow.
You do get
That's sneak attack, I know.
Yeah.
Plus 12.
Okay.
So that's 22 in total.
Cool, got it. Alright. Is that your turn?
Right, I can technically action surge, but I'm not doing that. So yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Alright, so this wolf here is up, and he is going to run behind Durgit
Uh-oh.
and go for a bite attack. Or, 1 second.
And when the music stops,
That's-
the way
Yeah, he's going to go for a bite attack and 2 claw attacks.
That's gonna hurt.
Ooh, okay. So the bite misses. And I assume only one of the claw attacks hit?
Yeah, one claw attack hits.
8 slashing.
Ouch. Okay.
And that is his turn. This werewolf on the other side is going to turn his attention from Tony and go for a bite and 2 claw attacks against Durgit as well.
And they're getting advantage too, right?
Yeah. 12 on the bite and 14 and 18 on the claws.
Nothing hits.
None of those hit? Okay. And that is their turn. Talia, you're up.
Nice. I'm going to move over here, so we're gonna have this one cornered. I'm gonna do some damage with my dear darling Moon Fury, which is kind of fitting because it's full moon and I'm gonna guess that hits.
It does.
Cool. It's 9 slashing damage.
9. Okay. Question. Is Moon Fury silver?
I don't know. Is it?
You would know, Mike.
Well, I know, but I'm just asking if they know.
Forged in Aeothar, this sword is wielded by a legendary warrior. Blue emits a blue-green luminescent glow. Does not mention anything about silver. Just something about D4 damage to undead and fiends. Take a D6 lightning damage. So
Okay.
unless the reason that is because it's silver, no.
So yeah, I would say it's not silvered then. Okay.
Okay. You know, that's all I do then.
Okay. Hadrada,
Maybe,
you're up.
maybe do the bard thing.
Okay.
Next time.
So, I'm going to walk around here. And since I still have that point of exhaustion, I'm going to use, can fur catch on fire?
Technically, yes.
let's see what Burning Hand says. Is fur technically being considered worn?
It's a part of its body.
So would it catch on fire? If I use Burning Hands on it?
Yes, fur burns.
Okay, thank you. That's my question. Okay, so I'm going to use Burning Hands, making sure to sculpt spells so it does not hit anyone. And it's a DC 16 or else they take half damage. Or, well, you know what I mean.
3.
Okay, so they take full damage, and that is only... Oh wait, I'm not in range of these guys. 1 second, let me just move slightly closer. And I can, in fact, make it so it doesn't hit any of my teammates, so... Because I believe I'm level 8 in Warlock now?
It's
Or no.
unclear. It should be.
Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, I can, whatever, no matter what, because I believe it's minimum 3, but whatever. So continuing, they take 10 damage now,
Got it. Okay. Alright.
and they catch on fire.
Okay. Alright, so is that your turn?
Yep.
Moss, you're up.
First thing I'd like to do is, with my new stupid passive perception, do just a quick scan of the environment, just like if there's anything, like, not using an action, but the passive lets me fucking see shit, apparently. I did not know about this, is that you can just see stealth people, apparently, with passive. So if there's is there anyone else in this environment that I need to be worried about before I focus on it?
Not that you can.
Perception.
Not that you can see. No.
Beautiful. So in that case, he's just gonna kind of step up a little bit, just kind of like get to see a view between, like, maybe like over Talia's shoulder, trying to get like a line of sight on that guy, and go ahead and hit him with a light.
I mean, it should be easy for you to look over me. You're taller than me.
I'm very tall. Yes, so homie needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
He's a plant that's disadvantaged, but I don't think so.
9.
Beautiful. So that is a total of 8d8, 42 damage.
Okay. Which one was that on?
That's the one to the left of her.
Here.
And go.
Okay. Alright.
I point at him, and this green energy and slight little flowers start like poking out all over him, and then the flowers grow slightly bigger as they suck life out of the werewolf.
Okay. Yeah, and he seems affected by this, but still standing.
Did it seem like it did any less damage, or did it still do full necrotic damage?
It seems like it took full damage.
Beautiful. Just making sure there was no resistances or anything I didn't know about. Durgit was hurt, right?
What's
When
that?
you
Tiny
cast a
bit.
spell, you can only do cantrips. Sorry, that was something else I learned. So, no, that will be it.
Okay.
Just kind of looking around, keeping an eye out.
Okay. Tony, you're up.
In that case, Tony is going to pummel this wolf.
Okay.
Tony is going to hit it with a stab for 19.
That hits.
That's 7.
Does Tony's arm do
9.
anything weird when he stabs with the trident?
Trident's in the left hand, so probably not.
It's still just
So 16
Wait,
total.
Yeah. All still good.
Yeah,
Then it gets another jab with the hand
that hits.
another one.
for 7, and another smite
Another one.
for 17.
Okay. Alright, is that your turn?
I'm a quicken spell Booming Blade.
Oh, fucking hell.
Punch him again, this time right-handed.
Bladed fist.
That
It's a
hits.
24. That
We always
deals
did with
4
advantage when
bludgeoning.
we're fucking, by the way.
Okay.
That's 4 bludgeoning. I can Divine Smite on an attack roll. And I do a D8 from Booming Blade. But 4, which is an extra 2 damage. The 7 comes later if it walks.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
I'm just wailing on this thing. It's a stab in the face or just beating on it with my other hand. And like, what kills it? Is it just the punch damage? The 4?
Yeah.
Well then I just punch it to death. It just explodes into a bloody mess on the end of my fist.
Okay. Alright. Is that your turn?
I am going to walk around to the other wolf. Man. And just kind of be ready to do a similar series of events to that.
Who is currently having the life sucked from his body.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, I won't block a Drada. There you go.
Okay. Durgit, you're up.
That's what I'm gonna do. It's a mystery. 25.
Yep, that hits.
Oh. Probably should have mentioned. When I finally punched a thing, my arm did some whispering.
Could I hear it?
Probably not what it says.
Could I hear, considering I
Sure.
was essentially next to you?
I don't know. That Mike, can they hear what it says?
Besides, like, audibly hearing it, no. I would say they wouldn't make out what they said. Or what it said.
Okay.
But yes, 25 hits.
13.
Okay. How do you want
Dead.
How
Okay.
do you want to do this? It's very good.
I'm bad at this. Someone else?
Stab it in the neck.
I guess.
It bleeds all over you.
Now you're all bloody.
Gross.
Ugh. That was less cool and more disgusting.
Okay. Yeah, and it seems like the battle's over. They
I am glad I did not get attacked.
revert back to a human form and lie dead on the ground.
Well, they turn into I go over and inspect them because they look normal? Do they look feral? Like, what are they just humans?
Yeah, they seem like humans. Their clothes visibly kind of shredded, not wearing any shoes, very dirty, very malnourished looking.
Could I tell from like the way they came in, where they came from, like the direction they traveled from?
I could point you in that direction.
Same.
I point out on the map the area previously described as being werewolf country in Blackfield.
That would have been good to know.
I didn't think we were that close to it, to be fair.
Yeah, same. Would have pointed out.
I
that
thought
it
that was further into the swamps, but they must
Yeah, I
have
thought they were
traveled
just around
somewhere.
Blackfield, but this is like a day's travel away on a
Well,
giant bird.
Well, that was under the rule of a certain baron who's now very dead and in a ball. But at the very least, did learn a couple things. Number one, I can at the very least fix what Tony and Hydrada did. I was able to fix Tony last night. I'll have to wait till morning to fix you,
Thanks for
Hydrada.
that.
Of course. Second of all, points at your arm. The fuck's going on with that?
I don't know.
Do
Can
I
we have this conversation in the morning?
I never thought I'd say this. Do I believe Tony?
Roll an insight.
18.
Fairly.
Yeah, you don't know. You're a little scared.
He's not lying,
No.
but there's things he hasn't told you.
He nods.
Okay.
In the morning.
When I have the
In the
clothing of I can get away with murder. I don't have blood all over me. That's good.
Ah,
Oh yeah, that's right.
that's
Huh?
right. Cool new clothes.
Nice.
Well, didn't even get to use this. And he like pulls out the cool dagger and flips it.
Should have. Better got a
Okay.
number on them.
Wouldn't have done as much as that though. And, like points at the body that's even more withered than before.
Fair.
I'm good. I'm not that good. Just enough. Give me a couple days.
Talia?
Mm-hmm.
It's your shift now, so could
Yeah,
you
good
please
night.
bury those 2 bodies, just so you know?
I've got it. And Moss will just kind of like lean down and slowly druidcraft plants over both the bodies.
Cool, thanks.
Okay.
I mean, I guess bodies are good fertilizer.
That's great for the trees here. It's gonna be giant.
Okay, I'm gonna head off to bed now. I'm fucking exhausted.
Good night. Well, if you're actually exhausted, I can take care of that. But
No, don't worry. I'll just need some sleep.
10-4, good buddy. Talia, if you need any help, just holler. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
And
No
Moss
worries.
will put an arm around Tony, just kind of worrisome, like rub his shoulder a bit as we walk back downstairs.
Okay.
Thanks.
Boss man.
But yeah, so what's that?
No, that's it.
Okay, so Talia, go ahead and roll perception.
Yes, sir. $22.
Okay. It seems quiet for now. Knowing that there were werewolves in this area, it seems maybe other things have decided to look for food and live kind of further away, or even if it's just the quiet of the night, it's hard to tell, but your watch goes by without issue.
Okay. Both watches since I'm taking the last 2?
No, roll another perception.
Okay. 26.
Okay. Yeah, it remains quiet throughout the night until you finish your watch, and
It's okay.
day starts to break. Hadrada and Tony join me in whispers.
Okay.
Throughout the night, it is very similar to the night before. You're stuck in a limbo between being awake and being asleep, with flashes and visions plaguing you once again. Very sleepless night.
Can I actually try and stay awake?
I mean, you'll still get exhaustion, but sure.
Yeah, I would just prefer not to see him.
Okay. So yeah, roll a con save.
Me?
Yep.
Okay. GM.
At disadvantage because you already are exhausted.
That's gonna be a 3.
Okay.
Damn.
Try as you might, you still drift off to this weird limbo sort of state. And as you do, the flashes plague you as well. And you see the Baron once again, and he kind of begins speaking to you once more and says, "They'll never accept you. They'll always hate you. They know what you've done in the past. You should just be rid of them. You're better off alone." Roll a wisdom save. Disadvantage.
Okay. Where's wisdom? Oh, I wish I could have taken that 21. 11.
And once again, you kind of feel this implanted in your mind that maybe they never really will accept me. They'll always hate me no matter how much better I try to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it is another sleepless night. Tony, you also see the Baron, and he says, "You're so much better than them. Even exhausted, you almost killed those werewolves by yourself. You don't need them. They're just bringing you down and holding you back. Your true potential, it can never be reached with them hanging around." Roll a wisdom save at disadvantage.
That's an 11.
And same thing, you kind of feel this and feel your ego being stroked a little bit, and you kind of think to yourself, "I'll never be as great as I can be. They always just look at Moss. All he does is use me for stuff. Just wants me to use in larger dues. That's all. That's all I am to him." And once again, another very sleepless night. Another point of exhaustion. to each of you.
Okay.
And when this day comes, you are not feeling so good, and you feel a little pasty, a little clammy and sweaty, almost like you're seeing double just from being tired.
Given my restoration, am I feeling similar to yesterday?
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool.
You would be back to just a single point of exhaustion, and Hadrada would be it too.
Mm-hmm.
And the day comes, and you see Moss kind of sitting, looking at the two of you as you try your best to sleep. And we can go back to general now.
I thought you were doing something terrifying for a moment there. Oh god. All right. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, everybody begins to stir and wake up as the day comes. And Moss, as you're sitting there kind of keeping an eye on Tony and Hadrada, it's very similar to what you saw the night before. Very sweaty, very half asleep, half awake, and just tossing and turning. Not really screaming or nothing vocal, but visibly not sleeping well.
Even Tony after getting hit with the grater?
Yes, when Tony wakes up, he looks exactly how he did the day before.
Dumbasses. Well, I've only got enough for one of you.
Hadrada looks much worse than I do, I should mention.
Moss turns over Hadrada. Is this true?
Hadrada is barely there. It's almost like he's visibly and mentally just out of it.
Oh, that's not good. Moss will reach over like, hey, cheer up, little pal. Smack him with a greater restoration, at least for the day.
Okay. Yeah, and he kind of springs back and has a little bit more energy. Or, well, a lot more energy in comparison.
I will say, it does only take away one.
Mhm.
I can only lower it by one level.
Yeah. So, it's
Thank
not a huge improvement. He's not back to his old fresh self, but he seems a little bit better.
Hey, I try something real quick.
Please be my guest.
Moss is going to kind of reach up and he goes to go to Tony and then just kind of thinks, all right, no point. I'm gonna try to dispel magic. Who wants it?
I can be your guinea
equally
pig.
fucked right now. Fair enough. And he finger guns and shoots off a dispel magic. We'll say at level 3. I don't think doing level 4 is gonna get it for me for free anyway.
Okay. As far as you can tell, it doesn't seem like anything happened or happened.
No roll at all. There's no spell affecting him.
No.
Oh,
Do you have anything that removes curses?
greater restoration.
Ah, well that didn't work then.
You guys are fucked.
No, this seems to not be
Not a curse. It's not.
not a curse and not like a spell
magic.
that's being cast or anything like that.
If I take the time to detect magic on them, I can do it ritually, so I don't have to spend the slot. Do I sense anything different in either of them magically?
No, just tired, exhausted.
Moss just kind of sits there and like rubs his chin a bit. What did you two get yourselves into?
I'd love to know.
My best
Look, the
guess would be
sooner we
possession.
smash the ball, the sooner I'll be feeling better.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
Anyone here have something against possession or something? Like, they talk to the dude or something, and then he's in their minds.
Well, possession assumes that they're being invaded. He's still in the ball. It's just like poisoned their brains.
Yeah, maybe influencing them. I don't know. I don't know anything about magic. I'm just trying to guess.
That's fair. It's a fair guess, but it's not quite the same. I think think our only path here is to go forward.
Maybe if we go onto a different plane,
We'll see.
I guess.
And Moss will start gathering up everyone and their things.
Okay.
Suppose you want some breakfast?
If you're feeling up for it.
It'll do me some good. Head
Um,
on. Oh.
We can cook, you know,
Well,
just in case.
Not only that, after yesterday, if I'm honest with you, I actually prepared something I haven't quite used before, but it's quite useful, and Moss will, yeah, he'll go ahead and do it. He'll cast a good berry.
Oh.
It's not quite, I mean, it's still good. It's actually quite delicious, but, you only need one, and takes care of you for the day.
Well. Head on. Thanks. I take one
Chance
and pop it in my mouth.
Well, that's all I needed to get rid of. God damn it! Like, hand on forehead.
I can assure you, this hat is never coming off my head for longer than a week.
And you gain a hit point from it.
Only if you're missing any.
Yeah.
But you
Well,
should have gotten them all back from sleeping.
I guess I also eat a good berry.
Come on, there's just like a plate of berries sitting out in the middle room as everyone wakes up.
Okay. Now with that, does that require any material components? It says a sprig of mistletoe. Is that it?
You can forego material components with
It's
your
consumed
spellcasting
though,
focus.
isn't it? It requires a berry in order to make more berries, if you read its description.
Then he can grow a sprig of mistletoe. He has Druidcraft.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
The plant, he can grow that.
Okay. But yeah,
Druids.
gives you one hit point if you happen to be missing any.
I am cool hit point wise.
Yep. And if we're all good, Moss will go up top and get ready to take off for the day. Do his morning stretches, do a morning commune. Well, he communed during his walk, so he's alright.
Okay. And again, you don't really pick anything up from it.
Oh no, he's not communing because he communed during the watch. It's all good.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's just going up and waiting for everyone to stir and come up top.
I stare and come up top.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I'm already there.
I mean, I was already there because I
we
did
just
the watch.
ate breakfast.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as you come out and get ready to get onto Moss and head on over to Blackfield, we'll go ahead and call it there for this week.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That was good.